Chapter 1231. I say, Ping, what can we do? Of course, we eat. A woman said directly. Instead, she looked at Zhao Ping, strangely with a hint of reprimand in her tone. Logically speaking, shouldn't Zhao Ping, be the one who received the food and placed it on the table? Why was it placed in front of her now? Why was she completely ignoring everyone else? What was the meaning of this? The corner of Zhao Ping's mouth twitched. She said somewhat righteously, "What else do you want to eat? Just now, all of the dishes were snatched away by you. I didn't even get to eat a single one, so this meat soup can only be eaten by me. Don't even think about eating it." Hearing Zhao Ping's words, the few women at the dining table were instantly angered. What Zhao Ping snatched was the meat soup. Just looking at it made them salivate. How could they let Zhao Ping eat it for free? After glancing at the meat soup, they said to Zhao Ping, how can you be like this? You eat a bowl of it alone. We can't even have a mouthful of soup. Don't even think about it. That's right, that's right. How can this be? Exactly, this is the first time I've seen this. She can't not let us eat it. We can't let her eat it alone. That's right. Just now, it wasn't us who didn't let her eat it. It was her who couldn't eat it. After these people finished speaking, they didn't waste any more time talking to Zhao Ping. They directly picked up their chopsticks and started to pick up meat into their bowls. Zhao Ping instantly panicked. She was afraid that her meat soup would be snatched away. You're not allowed to snatch it. You're not allowed to snatch it. This is for me alone. After shouting a few times, Zhao Ping realized that her words were useless. These people were still like robbers, picking up their spoons and poking into the meat soup in front of her. In her desperation, Zhao Ping spat a few mouthfuls of saliva into the soup. She wanted to know, after spitting, would they still eat? Just as Zhao Ping expected, after Zhao Ping spat a few mouthfuls of saliva, the women on the table were stunned. They were stunned by Zhao Ping's behavior. Zhao Ping, this is too disgusting. After spitting, who else would dare to eat? Looking at the fragrant meat slices soup, the women did not dare to put their chopsticks down. For a moment, he lost his appetite and felt a little nauseous. Zhao Ping was pleased to see that the women had stopped fighting. She didn't need to protect them anymore. He praised himself for being too quick-witted. If not for this, the broth would have been snatched away as well. Isn't it a robbery? Why aren't you snatching it now? Zhao Ping asked proudly. She took the chopsticks and began to eat. In family Qin, there weren't many oily things. Zhao Ping ate it and found it exceptionally delicious. This big bowl of meat slices soup could really nourish her body. When the women on the table saw Zhao Ping eating the meat slices soup alone and enjoying it, they couldn't help but roll their eyes. God, how can there be such a person in this world? This is simply unheard of. I've never seen it before. This is the first time I've seen such a weirdo. In order to prevent us from eating, she actually spat into the soup. Eating a big bowl alone, isn't she afraid of bursting? Look at her posture. She'll grow into a pig later. Chapter 1232. Who knows? That wretched lass, she's really despicable to think of this idea. She's really capable. She can't give it to us now. Oh my God, this is the first time I've seen such a shameless person. How did old Zhao's family produce such a trash? I'm really speechless. Then what can we do? Who can do anything? It's just a big bowl of meat soup. That wretched lass is really lucky. When it came to the meat soup, they were all very unwilling. They couldn't just let Zhao Ping take advantage of it while the others didn't get to eat it, right? Zhao Yun's eldest grandmother, Madame Hu, was also eating at the table today. Because Zhao Baojun went to another village to help with work, the task of eating wine fell on her head. Madame Hu was naturally happy with such a good thing. She just happened to be hungry and could have a good meal. She didn't expect to meet such a strange person like Xiao Ping, when she came to eat wine. Seeing Xiao Ping, eating, Madame Hu couldn't help but scold. I say, Ping, you wretched lass. Eat, 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 you only know how to eat. Do you still want to eat? Xiao Ping, swallowed the meat soup on the plate in one gulp and said to Madame Hu, eldest grandmother, don't scold me. When you fought over it, I couldn't eat it. Why didn't you give it to me? You wretched lass, you're still so stubborn. Madame Hu felt that she couldn't reason with Xiao Ping, so she directly shouted, Xiao Baoshan. I say, second son, look at your Ping, What's wrong with her? Why did you let her eat? It's fine if she's at the table, but you even let her eat it. She doesn't let people eat it. Madame Hu's voice was very loud. Other than Xiao Baoshan, everyone else at the banquet looked over. They looked at Madame Hu and Xiao Baoshan, and then looked at Xiao Ping, Xiao Baoshan was slightly stunned. He glanced at Xiao Ping, and found that the bowl of meat soup was in front of Xiao Ping, This. Xiao Baoshan's eyebrows twisted together. He didn't know how to explain it to Madame Hu. What's wrong with his Ping, lass? Why didn't she know the rules? She couldn't blame others for having opinions. Madame Hu gave Xiao Baoshan a stern look and said, second son, you have to properly discipline your granddaughter. Don't come out and embarrass old Xiao's family. There are so many people here. If rumors spread, our family will be implicated. Xiao Baoshan's expression turned even uglier when he heard Madame Hu's words. For the sake of his face, he could only say, my Ping, the lass has already given money as a gift. If she doesn't eat at the table, it's definitely not good. Second son, it's fine if Ping, is eating at the table, but look at her. She doesn't even know the rules. If you ask me, it's all because you didn't educate her well. Xiao Ping knew that although Madame Hu was speaking to Xiao Baoshan, she was indirectly scolding him. These words were meant for her to hear. Unable to restrain herself, she stood up and prepared to fight with Madame Hu. Xiao Baoshan hurriedly pulled Xiao Ping, to the side and reprimanded her. I say, Ping, alas, what's wrong with you? If you're allowed to eat, then eat properly. How can you eat alone and not let others eat? Chapter 1233. After Xiao Ping, finished complaining, she pursed her lips and muttered, Master, I already said that I didn't want to sit at the same table as them, but you insisted that I sit here. Now that I can't eat, I have to snatch the food, and you're scolding me again. Xiao Baoshan glared at Xiao Ping. You have a lot of excuses, and others can't outtalk you, okay? Really? You can continue to sit and eat, but don't snatch the food, lest the guests have a problem with it. Xiao Ping, opened her mouth and wanted to say something, but Xiao Baoshan stopped her. Okay, don't say any more. If you have a problem with it, don't eat at the table. It's a joyous occasion, but you made a fuss. It's really embarrassing. Xiao Ping, pursed her lips. She was afraid that Xiao Baoshan really wouldn't let her eat, so she could only agree. If she didn't sit at the table, she definitely wouldn't be able to eat it. If she sat at the table and snatched it, she might be able to snatch it. I know, master. I won't be like this, okay? Xiao Baoshan agreed. He still had some doubts about Xiao Ping, and was afraid that Xiao Ping would continue to make a fuss. Xiao Baoshan walked in front of Madame Hu and said to her, eldest sister-in-law, my Ping, is not sensible. How about this, another bowl of meat soup will be served on the table. You can try it again. I'll have Miss Ping, stop being like this. Since Xiao Baoshan had already said this, Madame Hu was naturally too embarrassed to continue. She reluctantly agreed and continued to ramble on for a while. Fortunately, there was still a little bit of meat soup left. Zhao Tianhu brought another bowl over, and the women at the table were able to taste a bit of minced meat again. Because of Xiao Ping's interference at the banquet, there were some small conflicts from time to time. After the banquet, the people in the courtyard continued to leave. Zhao Ping ate until her stomach was full. When she returned to the third branch's room, Zhao Yun was also busy. Because he had been cooking non-stop, he was so tired that he was sweating profusely. His whole body felt like it was soaked in sweat. When he went back later, he would have to wash his body properly. Otherwise, he would probably stink after being cooped up for an entire day. Just as he was about to leave old Zhao's kitchen, Dao Du and Zhao Tianfu came bounding in. He was aroused by the aroma coming out of old Zhao's kitchen. Mother, mother, Dao Du ran in and called out to Zhao Yun'er in a soft voice. What's wrong, Dao Du? Zhao Yun wiped her apron and asked Dao Du. Mother, what are you doing? It smells so good. Dao Du is hungry. He wants to eat. Dao Du looked at Zhao Yun'er expectantly. Zhao Yun'er smiled and nodded. Okay, mother will make it for Dao Du. Zhao Yun'er glanced at the leftover dishes. She hadn't touched her chopsticks yet. There was a stewed longan mixed with quail eggs and brown sugar. It was sweet and children should like it very much. Just as she was about to eat, Hu Chunhua happened to see it. She rushed in angrily and said to Zhao Yun'er, Yun'er, this is my family's food. I can't let you eat it. Zhao Yun'er's hands suddenly stopped moving the bowl and chopsticks. A pair of sharp eyes fell on Hu Chunhua. This damned old woman. She really can't bear to part with even a little bit of food. When we had leftovers at home, didn't she also take some of it back? Hu Chunhua looked at Zhao Yun'er proudly and continued to say to Zhao Yun'er, it's fine if you want to eat it. However, you have to give me 1 tael of silver per bowl. Otherwise, don't even think about touching the soup. Chapter 1234. 1 tael for a bowl, that's enough. Let's see what Zhao Yun'er can do. Anyway, if you want to eat, you have to pay a price. After Zhao Yun heard this, her face darkened and turned ugly. Hu Chunhua felt uncomfortable being stared at by Zhao Yun, so she unhappily replied to Zhao Yun, I say, Yun, girl, what are you looking at? It's useless to stare at me. I said 1 tael for a bowl, so you have to pay. Otherwise, don't drink it. At the side, Qian Zhozha couldn't stand it anymore. She moved in front of Hu Chunhua and tugged at Hu Chunhua, Mother, if Dao Du wants to drink, just let him drink a small bowl. Anyway, we have a lot left. Why are you being so calculative with a child? After Qian Zhozha finished speaking, Hu Chunhua glared at Qian Zhozha unhappily, why should I let him eat? I don't see Yun, girl being filial to me and giving me anything to eat. Let's not talk about this. This wretched girl is so shrewd. She helped me cook a banquet and still needs 3 taels of silver. If you eat my food, then you have to ask for her money. Otherwise, won't I lose out? This. Qian Zhozha didn't know what to say for a moment. She looked at Zhao Yun, with some difficulty and sighed. Her mother was too snobbish. If she wanted to get anything from her, it would be harder than ascending to the heavens. She said what she wanted to say, but she couldn't help Zhao Yun, There was really nothing she could do. If you don't want to eat, then don't eat. 1 tael for a bowl. 1 tael of silver can buy a lot of things back home. I'll slowly stew it for myself later. After Zhao Yun said coldly to Hu Chunhua, she coaxed Dao Du, can we not eat it? Mother will buy it for you later and stew it for you. Dao Du raised his head and looked at Zhao Yun, then looked at Hu Chunhua. His little head nodded, Mother, okay, Dao Du understands. Dao Du is so obedient. Zhao Yun stroked Dao Du's head. Hu Chunhua coldly snorted, if you don't want to eat it, then don't eat, I don't want you to eat. Let's go, Dao Du. Let's go together. Okay. Dao Du nodded his head, and followed Zhao Yun, out of old Zhao's kitchen. Before leaving, Zhao Yun said to Hu Chunhua, Grandma, give me the money for cooking as soon as possible. Don't let me. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she walked away with her head held high. Seeing Zhao Yun like that, Hu Chunhua was very angry. How could there be such a stubborn person who only knew how to ask for money? It was really infuriating. Mother. Actually, if you let Yun eat a bowl, she might not ask for so much. If we treat her well, she might even help for free. Qian Zhozhe muttered beside Hu Chunhua. Qian Zhozhe felt that his second niece was actually not bad. If you treated her well, she would definitely treat you well too. If you didn't treat her well, she would naturally argue with you about everything. Especially people like Hu Chunhua, who often had conflicts with Zhao Yun. What do you know? That wretched girl, is it possible? You still expect her to treat you well? Forget it. There's no hope at all. It's good enough that she didn't anger me to death. Hu Chunhua said angrily. Sigh. Qian Zhozhe sighed and didn't say anything else. After Zhao Yun returned home from old Zhao's house was still in full swing. Chapter 1235. Hu Chunhua saw that all the women in the house were sitting still, so she urged them angrily, "What are you doing? Why are you so lazy? Go and clean up the bowls and chopsticks, or you'll have to send them back after washing them." The bowls and chopsticks at the banquet were basically rented from a shop in town. They would be paid for renting them, and after they were used, they would send them back. After all, no one in the country would prepare so many bowls and chopsticks, and these bowls and chopsticks cost money. Mother, I washed the dishes for a long time today. You can't make me wash the dishes again. After Li Chuiying heard Hu Chunhua's voice, he hurriedly replied, afraid that Hu Chunhua would order him around again. You're not washing them? Hu Chunhua frowned. Yes. Mother, can I not wash them? Let sister-in-law and sister-in-law do this work, I really can't do it. Mother, look at my hands, aren't they covered in a layer of skin? If I continue to wash them, my hands will be useless. As Li Chuiying spoke, he stretched out his hands and moved closer to Hu Chunhua, speaking to Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua glanced at Li Chuiying's hands and found that Li Chuiying was indeed not lying. His hands were covered in a layer of skin. After a moment of silence, she said to Feng Zhangxia and Qian Zhonghua, "Then you two can go and clean up." Second daughter-in-law's hands really can't do it. Feng Zhangxia and Qian Zhonghua were not very willing. After all, they had been busy with the banquet today, and it was not as easy as Li Chuiying. How could they be willing to be asked to do the rest of the work now? Mother, I'm also tired today. Don't be fooled by the fact that I'm busy cutting vegetables. I'm dizzy and tired. Feng Zhangxia said, expressing the dissatisfaction in her heart. If she didn't say anything, if she didn't express her thoughts, Li Chuiying would definitely order her around. That's right, Mother. It's not easy being an assistant, and it's tiring. Let me and sister-in-law take a break. Qian Zhozhe followed behind Feng Zhangxia and agreed. Hu Chunhua frowned when she heard the conversation between the eldest daughter-in-law and the fourth daughter-in-law, as well as Li Chuiying's excuse. She looked very unhappy. I say, each and every one of you is simply too good at slacking off. Do you mean that you want me to do it? What a lazy woman. What kind of bad luck did my old Zhao family have to marry such a piece of trash? Hu Chunhua was so angry that she started to mumble. After hearing Hu Chunhua's words, old Zhao's daughters-in-law looked at each other. They knew that one of them had to do it. Otherwise, Hu Chunhua would scold them endlessly. However, the three of them didn't want to do it. They were so tired that they didn't have the energy to do it. Mother, we're not slacking off. Isn't there no other way? We've been busy all morning. We just rested, and now we have to clean up. Can't we do it later? Qian Zhozhe said weakly. Hu Chunhua rolled her eyes at Qian Zhozhe. Wait. I want to see how long you'll have to wait before you clean up. I reckon that the bowls and chopsticks on the table won't be touched even when it's dark. Qian Zhozhe curled her lips. Since Hu Chunhua said so, what else could she say? Chapter 1236. Hu Chunhua replied unhappily, What do you mean by not having the energy to clean up? When you were eating just now, each of you was more energetic than the other. How can you say that you don't have the energy after eating so much? Feng Zhangxia and the other sisters-in-law were speechless. They felt that Hua Chunhua's words were completely illogical. Who was not having the energy? How could they not have the energy to eat? They were already starving, so of course they would eat quickly. Otherwise, how could they replenish their energy? Mother, it's not like that. Feng Zhangxia replied weakly, as if she was afraid that Hua Chunhua would be angry. She looked at Hua Chunhua nervously. Then what is the reason? Hua Chunhua asked angrily. Mother. Then let's rest for a while. Rest for 2 hours. After we recover our energy, we can continue. Is that okay? Qian Zholi was really helpless and said to Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua did not have any objections. Resting for 2 hours was fine. Just as Hua Chunhua was about to nod in agreement, Feng Zhangxia said, Mother, fourth sister-in-law is diligent. Let her work. I'll go to the room first. My Yang still has to be taken care of. Feng Zhangxia quickly pushed all the responsibility to Qian Zholi so that she could have some free time. Sometimes, one had to be lazy when one should be lazy. Otherwise, it would be her turn to suffer. Qian Zholi's mouth twitched, and a pair of resentful eyes fell on Feng Zhangxia. Her sister-in-law was really too much. Wasn't she bullying her? Qian Zholi was different from Liang Jinqiao. She was not too cowardly. She directly expressed her opinion to Feng Zhangxia. Sister-in-law, you can't do this, right? I have to clean up 7 or 8 tables of bowls and chopsticks by myself. How can I be so busy? I'll be exhausted to death. Then let Jing work together. Feng Zhangxia replied and said confidently, Jing can't stay in her mother's home for long. She should help her family with more things now. She can't be lazy. Hearing Feng Zhangxia's words, Zhao Jing'er and Li Chuiying were displeased. Li Chuiying stood up and questioned Feng Zhangxia, Sister-in-law, what are you talking about? Why does my Jing have to help bathe? According to what you said, your Pan has been married here for so many years and hasn't done any work. She should do more work for you. Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and confronted Li Chuiying, I say, second sister-in-law, what you said is not right. My family's Pan, marrying over is marrying beneath her status. Our old Zhao family should treat her better. Normally, she lives like the eldest daughter of her family. Why does she have to live like this when she comes to our hometown? Li Chuiying replied unhappily, Sister-in-law, you're really good at protecting your wife. Everyone says that if you marry a chicken, you have to follow the chicken, if you marry a dog, you have to follow the dog. Now that Pan has married into our old Zhao family, she has to follow our old Zhao family's rules. She can't just not work. Seeing that Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia were about to quarrel, Hua Chunhua felt a headache coming on. Okay, don't quarrel with me. The remaining bowls and chopsticks have to be washed one by one. Hua Chunhua raised her voice and said. Mother, Feng Zhangxia and Li Chuiying began to have objections. After all, neither of them wanted to wash the dishes. Qian Zhenhua, on the other hand, felt that it was fine as long as everyone worked together and she didn't suffer alone. Chapter 1237. Hua Chunhua's attitude was very firm, and her gloomy face made people feel uncomfortable. Feng Zhangxia and Li Chuiying were still unwilling, but they didn't dare to say anything. They just curled their lips and agreed. If they said anything more, Hua Chunhua would probably scold them. Mother, shall we take a break first? Okay, just do it later. Don't drag it out. You can't let me do it, Hua Chunhua said before entering the house. Feng Zhangxia's sisters-in-law stood in the yard and looked at the tableware on the big tables. They suddenly felt a headache. Oh my God, Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Baoshan, and Hua Chunhua were the ones who benefited from this banquet. After all, Zhao Xinhui was Zhao Baoshan and Feng Zhangxia's daughter. If Zhao Xinhui married well, they would be respected. The money that young Master Meng gave to Zhao Xinhui was all in the hands of Zhao Xinhui, and the other branches didn't get it. However, now that Zhao Xinhui was getting married, the wedding banquet was basically arranged by the sisters-in-law. They were so busy that they were exhausted. Naturally, they felt uncomfortable. Li Chuiying's resentful eyes fell on Feng Zhangxia. Her hands were already like this. Originally, if Feng Zhangxia didn't say anything, she probably wouldn't have to wash the tableware. Now, because of Feng Zhangxia, her hands had to continue to be tortured. Li Chuiying felt that since she married into the family, the first branch often bullied them. When there was work, it was the other sisters-in-law who did more work. Most of the benefits were taken by the first branch. Not to mention other things, the other children in old Zhao's family didn't go to school. Only Zhao Tianlong went to school. Studying was expensive. Old Zhao's family had more than 10 mu of land, yet they still lived in poverty. Because of Zhao Tianlong's studies, most of the money was spent on him. If it weren't for Zhao Baoshan and Hu Chunhua suppressing them, it was impossible for the other branches to not express their thoughts. In Li Chuiying's heart, she suddenly had the idea of splitting up. It was hard to say if Zhao Tianlong would be able to pass the exam. However, her Jing was going to marry Jing Qian. No matter how bad her results were in the future, her daughter would be able to send some money to the family. If her Jing worked hard and got pregnant with a boy, Zheng Qian would give her 100 or 200 taels of silver. After they separated from the family, the money would naturally fall into her pocket. It would have nothing to do with old Zhao's family. After thinking about it for a while, Li Chuiying felt more and more that it was best to split up. After they split from the family, they wouldn't have to stay with the main branch and be bullied. She only needed to take care of her family, and the work would be much easier. However, the only problem now was how to split from the family. With Zhao Baoshan and Hu Chunhua around, they definitely wouldn't agree. However, she couldn't make too much of a fuss. If she provoked them too much, the second branch would be directly separated from the family. They probably wouldn't be able to get any land or other things. At that time, they would be at a disadvantage. She had to think of a way to make Hu Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan willingly split from the family. As Li Chuiying thought about it, Shen Pan also had the same idea. By the time her sisters-in-law finished washing the dishes, they were already exhausted. Shen Pan saw that her hands had been soaked in water for too long. They were wrinkled and looked very ugly. Chapter 1238. Feng Zhangxia approached Shen Pan and said, "What's wrong, Pan What do you want to talk to your mother about? Are you tired from all the work today?" Shen Pan shook her head and said to Feng Zhangxia, "Mother, it's not about that. Let's go inside and I'll tell you slowly." Feng Zhangxia felt that Shen Pan was being mysterious. Although she was curious, she still nodded and said, "Okay, let's go inside." N. After the two of them walked into the room, Shen Pan told Feng Zhangxia about her idea of splitting up. After Feng Zhangxia heard this, she sighed and said, "Little Pan, mother knows that you have been wronged, but it is not easy to separate from the family. Otherwise, mother would have wanted to separate from the family as early as possible, so that we don't have to suffer together. Let's wait and see if we can find something. That way, we'll have an excuse. Otherwise, it'll be difficult to split up." Hearing Feng Zhangxia's helplessness, Shen Pan could only nod and say, "Okay. But mother, if there's a chance, even if it's a small matter, we'd better make it big. If we wait for too long and still don't have a chance, we can only create our own opportunities. Otherwise, if it drags on, who knows how long it'll take." After listening to Shen Pan's words, Feng Zhangxia felt that it was reasonable, so she nodded and said, "Okay, Pan, don't worry. If there's a chance, I'll definitely split up. Otherwise, your second aunt will use you as an excuse. Sigh, seeing you like this makes my heart ache. If your mother knew that you were living like this in our old Zhao family, she would definitely say that I didn't take good care of you as your mother-in-law. Seeing the concern in Feng Zhengxia's eyes, Shen Pan held Feng Zhengxia's hand and said, "Mother, this has nothing to do with you. You're already very good to me." Feng Zhengxia sighed, Pan, girl, you'll have to suffer for a while. After a while, you'll be fine. When we split up, Mother will take care of all these chores. I'll definitely not let you touch them." Shen Pan was moved and said, "Mother, you're so good. Silly girl, you're my wife. How can I not be good to you?" N. Shen Pan nodded heavily. She was glad that Feng Zhengxia wasn't like Li Chuiying or Hu Chunhua. Otherwise, no matter how much she liked Xiao Tianlong, she wouldn't be able to make her work every day. She was afraid that she wouldn't be able to endure this kind of life. It was already summer, and in another 2 to 3 months, it would be autumn. When that time comes, the autumn examinations would begin. After the autumn examinations, Xiao Tianlong would know if he would be able to become a high scholar. At that time, his life would be much better. He was to she, to you. Liang, to her. After all, he had promised Xiaoping, Liang Jinxiao knew that it wouldn't be good to go back on his word now. Thinking about Xiaoping's life in her husband's family, if Xiaoping could earn money by setting up a stall, her life in her husband's family would definitely be much better. Liang Jinxiao didn't have much money left. He took out 2 taels of silver and gave it to Xiaoping. Together with Xiaoping's dowry, they definitely had enough money to set up a stall. Xiaoping, who received the money, was satisfied. Chapter 1239. After thinking for a while, Xiaoping said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, I'm going to deliver water to father and the others now." Liang Jinxiao said, "Ping, it's still early. You can deliver it to them later." If it were on a normal day, Xiaoping would not be so attentive. In the past, when he asked her to deliver water, Xiaoping was very dawdling and would only do it after being urged for a long time. But now, there was no need for him to urge her at all. She actually offered to deliver water herself. Liang Jinxiao comforted himself in his heart. Did Xiaoping grow up and become more sensible after marrying him? "Ping, girl, why don't you go back early first? Mother will deliver the water myself." Xiaoping did not really want to deliver water. She just wanted to carry out her plan. "Mother, let me deliver it. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry to go back." "It's fine." Liang Jinxiao sighed and said to Xiaoping, "Okay then, Ping, girl, wait a while more before you deliver the water." "Got it, Mother. Then I'll go to Xiaofeng's house to play for a while. When I come back, I'll deliver water to father and the others." Liang Jinxiao nodded heavily, "Okay, Ping, girl, then you go and play first." Liang Jinxiao knew that Xiaoping and Ma Xiaofeng were very close. Xiaoping rarely came back to her parents' house, so there was no harm in walking around. This child probably would not tell her parents about her grievances. Instead, she would talk to Ma Xiaofeng. People were like this. When they were upset, they would feel much better if they found someone to complain to. "Okay, Mother, then I'll go now." "Okay." Xiaoping skipped out of the house excitedly and ran towards Ma Xiaofeng's house. When Xiaoping skipped over, Qian Chuanxiu was also at home. Because the relationship with old Zhao's family was not very good and they were basically in a deadlock, Qian Chuanxiu did not attend Xiao Xinhui's wedding this time and old Zhao's family held a wedding. According to her understanding of old Zhao's family, even if it was a banquet, there should not be anything special. It's not worth it to give away dozens of copper coins for nothing. Of course, the most important thing was that the relationship between Qian Chuanxiu and old Zhao's family. She did not want to have any contact with old Zhao's family. Otherwise, old Zhao's family would probably think that she was trying to be friendly with them. What made Qian Chuanxiu upset was that she heard from the villagers who attended the wedding banquet that old Zhao's banquet this time was still being cooked by Zhao Yun. The dishes at the banquet were surprisingly delicious. Spending dozens of copper coins was a big bargain for them. After hearing the villagers' words, Qian Chuanxiu was very upset in her heart. Why didn't she take advantage of such a free bargain? She was so stupid. The more she thought about it, the more upset Qian Chuanxiu felt. She thought about when she could make up for the loss she suffered. Qian Chuanxiu, who was in a fit of anger, was not very happy when she saw Zhao Ping, coming over. She said to Zhao Ping, in a strange tone, "Oh, Ping, girl, you came to visit your maiden home again? Before you got married, you played very well with my Xiaofeng. Now, you still like to come to my home and play with Xiaofeng." Zhao Ping did not understand the other meaning in Qian Chuanxiu's words. After hearing Qian Chuanxiu's words, Zhao Ping said with a smile, "Auntie, Xiaofeng is my good friend. I came back to my maternal home this time just to play with Xiaofeng for a while." Chapter 1240. Zhao Ping continued to say with a smile, "Auntie, Xiaofeng and I are indeed as close as sisters. She's even better than my own sister." Qian Chuanxiu rolled her eyes at Zhao Ping. This girl was really a bit stupid. She didn't have any awareness when others were talking. Couldn't she hear the meaning in her words? Facing Zhao Ping, Qian Chuanxiu didn't hold back and said, "I say, Ping, girl, you and my Xiaofeng were already married before. Now that you're married, it's best if you don't interact with her. After all, my Xiaofeng is going to get married later. If you pass on something bad to her, how can my Xiaofeng get married?" Zhao Ping frowned. She didn't know what Qian Chuanxiu meant. Why couldn't she have any contact with Ma Xiaofeng after she got married? Was there something wrong with getting married? Zhao Ping couldn't understand Qian Chuanxiu's words. At this time, Zhao Ping came out of the house. After seeing Zhao Ping and hearing Qian Chuanxiu's words, she said to Qian Chuanxiu, "Mother, don't say that to Sister Ping, What's wrong with us playing together? In the whole village, only Sister Ping treats me the best. Otherwise, no one would play with me." Hearing Ma Xiaofeng's defense, Zhao Ping was very touched. She thought that Ma Xiaofeng was so nice. When Qian Chuanxiu was talking about her, she still stood up and defended her friend. Zhao Ping naturally didn't know Ma Xiaofeng's thoughts. In the past, she was close to Zhao Ping, because the other girls in the village didn't like to talk to her. Only Zhao Ping was willing to play with her. She felt a sense of accomplishment. At the same time, Zhao Ping was easier to fool. Now that she was with Zhao Ping, she wanted to use Zhao Ping. She not only wanted to marry Zhao Tianan, but also wanted to do business with Zhao Ping to make money. Hearing that, Qian Chuanxiu pulled the corner of her mouth with disdain. "I say, Xiaofeng, if she's really good to you, why didn't she send you any of the leftover dishes from the banquet at home? Who doesn't know how to do it? You have to actually do it." Zhao Ping looked a little embarrassed and explained to Qian Chuanxiu, "I don't even have time to eat the leftovers." Qian Chuanxiu pursed her lips. Just as she was about to say something, Ma Xiaofeng stopped her. "Mom, don't scold Ping, Qian Chuanxiu frowned with displeasure. Of course, she knew that. She just felt uncomfortable in her heart. She didn't know how to eat the leftovers from old Zhao's family. After listening to the descriptions of those who had eaten at the banquet today, those dishes were really delicious. Even if she went to a restaurant on the street, she might not be able to eat more delicious dishes. Especially some meat dishes. The more Liang Jinxiao thought about it, the more hungry she felt. She desperately wanted to eat. No. She had to try it. She couldn't turn to Zhao Ping. The third branch had nothing to do with old Zhao's family. Hu Chunhua was so stingy. It would be strange if she gave Zhao Ping leftovers. Qian Chuanxiu thought for a while. There was one person she could turn to. That was the second son of old Zhao's family, Zhao Wenshui. Chapter 1241. When she thought of Zhao Wenshui, she became angry. That stinky man. It was fine if he did her, but he was of no use at all. He didn't help her at all. Previously, Zhao Wenshui had promised her, but he didn't fulfill any of his promises. Qian Chuanxiu naturally felt uncomfortable when she didn't get any benefits from it. If she could extort some benefits from Zhao Wenshui now, she could at least earn some. After thinking about it, Qian Chuanxiu decided to talk to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui was a man. If he held a banquet at home, it should be fine for him to make some food. Qian Chuanxiu waved her hand and replied, Okay, I got it. Mother, I'll talk to Sister Ping, then. You go to the room and rest first. Ma Xiaofeng said. Okay. Qian Chuanxiu replied and then went into the room. Chapter 1241, What happened after Qian Chuanxiu went into the room? Zhao Ping went up to Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng took Zhao Ping's hand intimately and said to Zhao Ping, Sister Ping, why did you come to see me today? Zhao Ping smiled and winked at Ma Xiaofeng ambiguously. He, Xiaofeng, it's about the thing I told you last time. Although Zhao Ping didn't say it explicitly, Zhao Ping had already guessed what Zhao Ping was talking about from Zhao Ping's ambiguous wink. She couldn't help blushing. Sister Ping, so fast. Zhao Ping smiled. It's not fast at all. Since there's a chance now, I have to seize it. Otherwise, if I don't have time to come over later, what should I do? Ma Xiaofeng nodded shyly and said, Well. Sure, Sister Ping, I'll listen to you. Great, don't worry, Xiaofeng. You only need to go to the back of the mountain. I'll handle the rest. Thank you, Sister Ping, Ma Xiaofeng looked at Zhao Ping with gratitude. Zhao Ping also held Ma Xiaofeng's hand, and said to Ma Xiaofeng intimately, Xiaofeng, you're too polite to me. It's not a big deal. After all, we're very close friends. If you can become my sister-in-law, it's my family's good fortune. Ma Xiaofeng nodded again. After telling Ma Xiaofeng what to do, Zhao Ping happily went back. She had a smile on her face all the way back, imagining that her plan would succeed. When they were back, it was almost time. Liang Jinxiao packed the water casually, and went to deliver water to the men who were going to work. Before Zhao Ping got married, she also prepared aphrodisiac in addition to burning incense. The aphrodisiac was the kind that was put in water and mixed together. Men or women would have a reaction after drinking it. Zhao Ping especially put it by her side this time. When she delivered water to Zhao Tianan, she would give it to Zhao Tianan. Of course, the aphrodisiac wouldn't take effect right away. It would take a while. When Zhao Ping tricked Zhao Tianan to go to the back of the mountain, the aphrodisiac would take effect. When he saw Ma Xiaofeng, he naturally couldn't control himself. After preparing the tea, Zhao Ping happily walked to the foot of the mountain. When she arrived at the foundation, the sun was shining brightly, and several men were working hard with sweat all over their backs. Chapter 1242. Zhao Tianan paused and replied to Zhao Ping, Sister, put the water down. I'm not thirsty. Zhao Tianan meant that he was not going to drink. If Zhao Tianan refused to drink, Zhao Ping would not be able to achieve her goal. Zhao Ping hurriedly persuaded him, Tianan, you've been working for so long. Even if you're not thirsty, you should at least drink a little, right? Look at how much sweat you've been sweating. Zhao Ping said and persuaded Zhao Tianan. When the other men heard this, they walked over to Zhao Ping, and said to Zhao Ping, Ping, if Tianan doesn't want to drink, forget it. We'll drink it. We're really thirsty now. Thank goodness you brought the water over. Zhao Wenshui smiled and said, It's not easy for Ping, to come back. Now that she's back, she actually brought us water. That's right, Ping has become much more diligent this time. Come, let's drink together. Seeing the men coming over, Zhao Ping did not want to let them drink. She wanted to let Zhao Tianan drink first. Zhao Ping refused with a cold face. No, you can't drink first. Let Tianan drink first. The men looked at Zhao Ping in confusion. Ping what are you doing? Tianan isn't thirsty. It's fine if he doesn't want to drink, but we're thirsty. Why don't you give us water to drink? I just can't. I came here especially for Tianan, so let him drink first. Zhao Ping said stubbornly. The men thought that Zhao Ping must be crazy. Her words and actions were so strange. Zhao Tianan heard Zhao Ping's words and could not help but frown. Zhao Tianan also did not know why Zhao Ping said that. When did his sister treat him so well? Of course, Zhao Tianan did not know that Zhao Ping did this because she was afraid that the men would drink all the water. She specially prepared a cup for Zhao Tianan. This cup could not be drunk by other men. After hearing Zhao Ping's words, Zhao Tianan had to come over and say to Zhao Ping, "Sister, pour me a cup. I'll drink." Okay. Zhao Ping responded happily and hurriedly poured a cup for Zhao Tianan. After seeing Zhao Tianan drink it, she was relieved. "Sister, it's finished." After Zhao Tianan drank it, he handed the cup to Zhao Ping. That's good. Zhao Ping responded with a smile. Looking at Zhao Ping, Zhao Tianan was puzzled. She just drank some water. Why was Zhao Ping so big? "Sister, then I'll continue to work," Zhao Tianan said. "Okay, then you go." Zhao Ping put down the water and then left. After 10 minutes, Zhao Ping turned back and said to Zhao Tianan, "Tianan, come here." Seeing Zhao Ping's anxious look, Zhao Tianan hurried to Zhao Ping and said to Zhao Ping, "Sister, what's wrong?" "Tianan, mother fell down at the back of the mountain and sprained her ankle. Hurry up and carry mother back." Chapter 1243. Okay. Hurry up. Zhao Ping urged him. Okay. Zhao Tianan gratefully stopped what he was doing and ran towards the back of the mountain. He didn't think too much and didn't realize that Zhao Ping was following him. Seeing Zhao Tianan running out in a hurry, Zhao Ping was relieved. She hoped that everything would go smoothly and no accidents would happen. Of course, she couldn't go with Zhao Ping. After all, she would be too much of a hindrance and Ma Xiaofeng would be too shy to let go. Zhao Tianan ran towards the back of the mountain. When he was about to reach the back of the mountain, he ran into Mu Hin, who was picking wild vegetables. Seeing Zhao Tianan in a hurry, Mu Hin went forward and asked with concern, "Tianan, what's wrong with you? Did something happen?" Zhao Tianan stopped in front of Mu Hin and said to Mu Hin, "My mother accidentally fell down at the back of the mountain. I'm going to find my mother now and carry her back." Hearing Zhao Tianan say that Liang Jinxiao fell down, Mu Hin also showed a worried look. "Really? Then I'll go with you." After all, one more person meant one more helper. When the time came, it would be relatively easier to support Liang Jinxiao. "No, it's not necessary." "Won't it be too much trouble for you?" "It's fine. I'm fine. I'll run for a while more." "Okay then. Let's go." "Okay." The two of them suddenly quickened their pace a lot. Halfway through, Zhao Tianan suddenly felt dizzy. He stopped and rubbed his forehead. Mu Hin asked, "Tianan, what's wrong with you?" "Nothing. I just feel a little dizzy in my head. My chest feels tight, and I feel a little hot." After Zhao Tianan finished speaking, he felt his body becoming more and more uncomfortable. "My body was getting hotter and hotter, and I couldn't help but want to take off my clothes." Mu Hin glanced at Zhao Tianan and saw that Zhao Tianan's face was bright red, as if he had a fever. "Tianan, are you sick?" Mu Hin asked worriedly. If he wasn't sick, he shouldn't be like this, right? However, Zhao Tianan was clearly fine just now, and his expression was normal. How did Zhao Tianan's face become so red in the blink of an eye? I don't think so. Zhao Tianan replied. Everything was fine just now, but they suddenly became like this. Let me touch it. Mu Hin reached out his hand, wanting to touch Zhao Tianan's forehead to feel the temperature of Zhao Tianan's forehead. As Zhao Tianan's cold hand fell on Zhao Tianan's forehead, Zhao Tianan felt his mouth becoming more dry. He couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva into his stomach. After touching Zhao Tianan's forehead, Mu Hin sighed and said, Tianan, your forehead is so hot. When Mu Hin pulled his hand back, Zhao Tianan couldn't help but hold Mu Hin's hand and put Mu Hin's hand in his palm. Mu Hin. Zhao Tianan's mind was filled with many dirty thoughts, and his body became more and more out of control. He didn't know what was wrong with him. Chapter 1244. Although Mu Hin liked Zhao Tianan, she had never expressed her feelings to Zhao Tianan. She even kept a proper distance from Zhao Tianan. Zhao Tianan suddenly treated her like this. Did it mean that Zhao Tianan was actually interested in her? When a woman was faced with the passion of the man she liked, she more or less couldn't control herself. Zhao Tianan swallowed a few mouthfuls of saliva. He didn't know what to say either. Tianan. Mu Hin's face flushed. She wanted to pull her hand back from Zhao Tianan's, but found that her hand was tightly grasped by Zhao Tianan. She couldn't break free at all. Tianan, what do you want to do? Zhao Tianan also didn't know what he wanted to do, but the desire in his heart grew stronger. After a while, Zhao Tianan found that his consciousness was getting more and more out of control, and he began to take off his clothes. Mu Hin's mind suddenly went blank. Seeing Zhao Tianan take off his clothes, revealing his broad arms, she hurriedly asked, Tianan, what are you doing? Zhao Tianan didn't respond to Mu Hin. It wasn't that he didn't want to respond, but that he couldn't control himself at all. Tianan, are you crazy? Mu Hin closed her eyes. She didn't dare to look anymore, because Zhao Tianan had begun to take off his pants. Now Zhao Tianan looked like he was possessed. It was a little scary to look at. I'm not crazy. Zhao Tianan replied the moment his consciousness became clear. However, just as he recovered, his consciousness blurred again. Zhao Tianan pulled Mu Hin over and pulled her into his arms. Mu Hin screamed at Zhao Tianan's sudden action. Because her body was now pressed against Zhao Tianan's naked body. Mu Xian didn't know what to say, but her mouth was covered by Zhao Tianan's. Zhao Tianan was just an instinctive physical reaction. Looking at Mu Hin's small red lips, he wanted to kiss them. But because it was the first time, Zhao Tianan's kiss was a little jerky. After tasting Mu Hin's little mouth, Zhao Tianan felt that it was soft and fragrant. He took a bite and wanted to continue eating. Zhao Tianan hugged and kissed Mu Hin, unwilling to let go. As for Mu Hin, who was in Zhao Tianan's arms, his mind had long gone blank. How could she have expected that Zhao Tianan would kiss her? Her nostrils were filled with Zhao Tianan's scent. This was the first time that she had done such an intimate act with a man. Mu Hin knew that under normal circumstances, only husband and wife would do such a thing. If a man and a woman did it and were found out, there would definitely be a lot of gossip. After tasting the sweetness, Zhao Tianan found that he was getting more and more out of control. He reached out and touched Mu Hin's body. Wherever Zhao Tianan's hand touched, Mu Hin's body couldn't help but tremble. As if she knew what Zhao Tianan was going to do next, Mu Hin hurriedly pushed him away and broke away from Zhao Tianan's kiss. She said to Zhao Tianan, "No, Tianan. We can't do this." However, Mu Hin found that what she was doing was completely useless. Zhao Tianan continued to hold her tightly and even pushed her into the grass. Lying on the soft grass cushion, she didn't feel very uncomfortable. Chapter 1245. Otherwise, she didn't know what others would say about her if she was seen. She reckoned that there would be some rumors, and the spittle would drown her. Tianan. What do you want to do? don't be impulsive. Mu Hin whispered in Zhao Tianan's ear. Being pressed down by Zhao Tianan, Mu Hin felt that her heart was about to jump out. Zhao Tianan didn't seem to hear Mu Hin's words, and his hands continued to move. After taking off his clothes, Zhao Tianan began to undress Mu Hin. Mu Hin wanted to refuse, but Zhao Tianan's strength was too strong. Mu Hin couldn't resist at all, and could only let Zhao Tianan do it. The two people's bodies were buried in the grass, and no one saw them. Otherwise, if they saw this scene, they would definitely blush and their hearts would beat faster. After a while, Zhao Tianan recovered his divine sense after venting, and realized what he had done to Mu Hin. Zhao Tianan was suddenly at a loss. However, since he had touched a girl, he must be responsible for her. He couldn't just let it go. Zhao Tianan hugged Mu Hin. Mu Hin. I will be responsible for you. Facing the two people's naked bodies, Zhao Tianan began to help them put on their clothes. Mu Hin closed her eyes. She didn't dare to look at Zhao Tianan. At this moment, she just wanted to find a hole to hide in. The pain on her body was still there, which let her know that everything that had happened just now was a reality, and not a dream or fantasy. Really? Mu Hin asked weakly. We have already done it as husband and wife. I will definitely tell my mother to ask for your hand in marriage. Mu Hin, don't worry. I'm not an irresponsible person. Zhao Tianan assured Mu Hin. Although he didn't know why he had such an inexplicable impulse, Zhao Tianan knew his responsibility as a man. If he married Mu Hin in the future, Zhao Tianan didn't have many opinions in his heart. He still had a good impression of Mu Hin. Mu Hin replied timidly. She did not know what to say. On the other side, Ma Xiaofeng waited for Zhao Tianan for a long time, but Zhao Tianan didn't come. She was very anxious and wondered if Zhao Ping's plan had failed. Otherwise, there was no reason. Just as Ma Xiaofeng was looking around anxiously, Lu Sen came from not far away. Originally, he was just wandering around and wandered to the back of the mountain where there was no one. He didn't expect to meet Ma Xiaofeng, this little beauty. He glanced at Ma Xiaofeng's slim figure and charming face. He couldn't help but want to touch it a few times. Lu San was a lot more well-behaved these days. After being reprimanded by Li Zheng, he behaved himself for a period of time. When he met the young women and girls in the village, he didn't do much. But the women at home were too ugly. He really didn't want to touch them, so he restrained himself for a long time. Now, how could he bear it? When he saw Ma Xiaofeng, he somewhat couldn't control himself. He couldn't wait to pounce on Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng didn't notice that Lu San was approaching her quietly. She still stood in the same place and waited. Suddenly, a person pounced on her from behind and held her tightly in his arms. She was surrounded by his breath. Chapter 1246. After all, the drug in Zhao Tianan's body was taking effect at this moment, so he couldn't help but pounce on her. Tianan, Ma Xiaofeng said happily. Her voice was a little delicate, which made Lu San's heart itch. This little girl is really a stunner. After getting closer, he smelled the scent of Ma Xiaofeng's body. It was fragrant, a woman's body fragrance. He touched Ma Xiaofeng's body with his hand. It was soft and very comfortable. Just after Ma Xiaofeng turned her head and saw the person behind her, she saw Lu San's face and couldn't help screaming. Ah, why not Zhao Tianan, but Lu San? Ma Xiaofeng's eyes showed a trace of fear. She recognized Lu San. After all, Lu San was very famous in the village. Many young wives and girls would avoid Lu San when they saw Lu San, for fear of being bullied by Lu San. If she fell into the hands of Lu San, she would only be defiled. Hee, little beauty, Lu San smiled wretchedly, revealing a row of big yellow teeth, and said to Ma Xiaofeng. Let me go, let me go. Ma Xiaofeng quickly struggled. While pushing Lu San away, she shouted, for fear of being taken advantage of by Lu San. Little beauty, let's play together. Why should I let you go? Lu San smiled wretchedly. You pervert, don't touch me. Let me go quickly, or don't blame me for being rude. Ma Xiaofeng threatened anxiously. However, Ma Xiaofeng's threat was not a threat at all in the eyes of Lu San. Oh, little beauty, look at you, why can't you let go? Let's just play, don't refuse. Lu San hugged Ma Xiaofeng tightly, not giving Ma Xiaofeng a chance to struggle. Ma Xiaofeng was very anxious. For a rascal like Lu San, it was useless to talk or hit. She had no chance to avoid Lu San at all. Because Lu San had bullied a lot of women and girls, his ability to bully women was first class. Soon, Ma Xiaofeng was touched by Lu San. Lu San quickly took off Ma Xiaofeng's clothes, and then pressed Ma Xiaofeng on the grass. No, little beauty, I can't control. I'm coming. With that, Lu San took out his treasures and began to do excessive things to Ma Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng shouted at the top of her voice, but there was no one on the back of the mountain. There was no one to help her. The louder Ma Xiaofeng shouted, the more excited Lu San became. Little beauty, hee hee, on the back of the mountain, no one will come to see you even if you shout at the top of your voice. It's better to be obedient to me. Bastard, pervert, let me go quickly, or I'll report you to Li Zheng. Then you'll suffer. Ma Xiaofeng scolded angrily. Report? Little beauty, do you think I'm afraid? I've done a lot of bad things in the village, and I'm still fine now. At most, I'll be reprimanded. You, hee hee, little beauty, scream as hard as you can. If you attract people and they see us like this, TSK, let's see how you'll be able to show your face in the future. Lu San said with a smile. In fact, Lu San's words were also to scare Ma Xiaofeng. Chapter 1247. After all, women cared about their reputation the most. Even if she was bullied by other men, she definitely didn't want many people to know. Otherwise, it would be bad for her reputation, especially for an unmarried girl. If this happened, it would be very difficult for her to find her family in the future. Sure enough, after Lu San finished speaking, Ma Xiaofeng immediately became more well-behaved. Ma Xiaofeng was very scared. If people knew that she was raped by Lu San, it would be impossible for her to marry Zhao Tianan. Even if she found a man with poor conditions, it would be difficult. Hee hee, little beauty, this is good. As Lu San spoke, the movements of his hands became more excessive. He directly galloped on Ma Xiaofeng's body. Ma Xiaofeng felt a strange feeling. In addition to pain, she also felt humiliated. If today's matter was accidentally discovered by others, how could she face others? Lu San hadn't done anything to a woman for a while. This time, he suddenly could vent. Lu San felt very comfortable. After quickly finishing off Ma Xiaofeng, Lu San pulled up his pants and left. Only Ma Xiaofeng was left lying on the ground, her clothes disheveled. After lying down for a few minutes, Ma Xiaofeng calmly responded and hurriedly tidied up her clothes. She couldn't let others see. Being bitten by a dog was a fact. There was no way to change it. The only thing she could do now was to not let others find out so that it wouldn't affect her. Not long after Ma Xiaofeng put on her clothes and was about to leave, Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin came together. When Zhao Tianan saw that the person he saw after coming to the mountain wasn't Liang Jinxiao, but Ma Xiaofeng, he was slightly stunned. Then he asked, Xiaofeng, have you seen my mother? Ma Xiaofeng quickly shook her head. No. No, then, have you seen my mother before? I think I have. She should have left. Ma Xiaofeng stuttered back. At this moment, Ma Xiaofeng's heart was relieved and puzzled. Fortunately, Zhao Tianan didn't come earlier. Otherwise, if he found out that Lu San had done that to her, it would be completely impossible between her and Zhao Tianan. Now, even if she wasn't a virgin, she could use a way to deceive Zhao Tianan. He was puzzled as to why Zhao Tianan had only arrived now. Furthermore, his expression was normal. He hadn't been drugged, right? Suddenly, she caught a glimpse of Mu Xian behind Zhao Tianan, as well as Mu Xian's flushed face. Ma Xiaofeng immediately guessed that Zhao Tianan had used Mu Xian to cure the poison. In that case, between Mu Hin and Zhao Tianan, Ma Xiaofeng had an indescribable feeling. If her guess was true, then wouldn't she have made a wedding dress for Mu Hin and sacrificed herself for nothing? No way, then it seems that my mother has gone back. Zhao Tianan muttered. After all, he had delayed for so long. Liang Jinxiao couldn't have waited for him for so long. It was normal for her to go back now. Mu Hin stood beside Zhao Tianan and whispered to Zhao Tianan, "Tianan, shall we go back and take a look?" Zhao Tianan responded, "Okay." Seeing that Zhao Tianan turned around and didn't look at her with the slightest reluctance, Ma Xiaofeng's heart couldn't help but hurt. Zhao Tianan. Did he really not care about her at all? She had given him her virginity, but he didn't take it seriously at all, even though Zhao Tianan didn't know about it. Chapter 1248. Ma Xiaofeng gritted her teeth, jealousy and unwillingness written all over her face. No way. She didn't want to give up Zhao Tianan and let that be *tch Mu Hin take advantage of him. After staying at the back of the mountain for a while, Ma Xiaofeng also left. She had encountered such a terrible thing today, so she needed to deal with it calmly. She needed to go back and have a good rest. Zhao Tianan rushed home, wanting to make sure that Liang Jinxiao was all right. Zhao Ping had been waiting in the yard for a long time. When she saw Zhao Tianan, she hurried forward and asked Zhao Tianan, "Did you meet Xiaofeng at the back of the mountain?" Zhao Tianan nodded and responded, "Yes." Zhao Ping was overjoyed. As long as Zhao Tianan saw Ma Xiaofeng, there would be no problem. Now that Zhao Tianan didn't have any drug effect on him, it meant that Ma Xiaofeng had helped him get rid of the poison. That's good, that's good. Zhao Ping muttered. Zhao Tianan looked at Zhao Ping with a puzzled expression, feeling that Zhao Ping was very strange. Why did Zhao Ping ask him if he had seen Ma Xiaofeng as soon as he came back? Could it be that Zhao Ping knew that Ma Xiaofeng was at the back of the mountain? Big sister, where's Mom? Is she at home? Why didn't I see her at the back of the mountain? Zhao Tianan asked with a frown. Zhao Ping hurriedly said, "Mom is back. It's okay. She can walk on her own. She didn't fall and hurt herself." After hearing Zhao Ping's words, Zhao Tianan felt relieved. "Tianan, how are you and Xiaofeng these days? Do you still want to be together with Xiaofeng? Do you want me to help you ask Xiaofeng out?" Zhao Ping asked tentatively. "No need, big sis. There's nothing between me and Xiaofeng." Zhao Tianan replied. Since he had touched Mu Hin, he had to be responsible for Mu Hin. After marrying Mu Hin, he would naturally not be able to have any relations with other women. He used to like Ma Xiaofeng, but it wasn't that he couldn't let go of this relationship. Besides, it wasn't like he didn't have any good feelings towards Mu Hin. Zhao Ping was slightly stunned. She hadn't expected Zhao Tianan to say that. Didn't his younger brother just touch Ma Xiaofeng? Could it be that he wanted to go back on his word now and not be responsible for Ma Xiaofeng? Seeing Zhao Ping looking at him strangely, Zhao Tianan pursed his lips and explained to Zhao Ping, "Big sis, Xiaofeng and I are in the past. It's impossible for us to be together now, so you don't have to worry about me, and you don't have to help me ask Xiaofeng out." "Tianan, what are you saying?" Zhao Ping couldn't help but frown and ask, her face full of unhappiness. Zhao Tianan thought that Zhao Ping was so angry because she had a good relationship with Ma Xiaofeng. "Big sis, I know that you and Xiaofeng are good friends, but I really can't be with Xiaofeng now. He wanted to marry Mu Hin. Even if Qian Chuanxiu said that she didn't want the 50 taels of silver as a betrothal gift, he couldn't be with Ma Xiaofeng anymore. As a man, he had to be clear about his responsibilities. If he didn't marry Mu Hin this time, he would only harm Mu Hin for the rest of her life." Zhao Ping stared at Zhao Tianan with her eyes wide open. She started scolding Zhao Tianan. Tianan, you're too heartless. To think that Xiao Feng likes you. Chapter 1249. After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Zhao Tianan sighed deeply. He had no way to tell Zhao Ping about his helplessness. Liking someone and being with her were two different things. After all, there were too many obstacles between him and Ma Xiaofeng. Previously, it was because of Qian Chuanxiu. Now, it was because he touched Mu Hin. Seeing that Zhao Tianan did not speak, Zhao Ping was even more certain that Zhao Tianan did not want to take responsibility. He really had a change of heart. Zhao Ping could not help but reprimand him. Tianan, let me tell you, you can't do this. Even if you're not with Xiaofeng now, you have to be with Xiaofeng. After all, you touched her body and tarnished her innocence. If you don't marry her, you'll be in for it later. Just wait and see how she'll make a fuss. After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Zhao Tianan's brows were tightly knitted together. Big sister, what are you saying? When did I touch Xiaofeng's body? It's fine if you say that to me, but don't ruin Xiaofeng's innocence. Zhao Tianan said very seriously. This was the first time he was so angry with Zhao Ping. Tianan. Why are you like this? I'm not talking nonsense. Didn't you say today that you went to the back of the mountain and bumped into Xiaofeng? Could it be that you didn't make a move on her and did that thing? Zhao Ping asked. After hearing Zhao Ping's words, Zhao Tianan immediately realized that something was wrong. Why would Zhao Ping say something like this for no reason? It must be because of something. Then, he thought about how he had suddenly acted out of sorts today. When he attacked Mu Hin, it was as if he had been drugged. Before that, it was Zhao Pinger who brought him tea and eagerly persuaded him to drink it. Then, it was Zhao Pinger who informed him that Liang Jinxiao had fallen on the back of the mountain. Zhao Tianan more or less guessed that Zhao Pinger must have done something to him. Big sister. What did you make me drink today? Zhao Tianan asked coldly. Zhao Ping was stunned. Seeing Zhao Tianan's calm face, she felt a little worried. Well, actually, it's nothing. Zhao Ping replied weakly. He didn't dare to let Zhao Tianan know. Otherwise, Zhao Tianan would make a fuss with him. Big sister, you are my biological sister. How can you do this? I know, it must have been you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. Zhao Tianan didn't know what to say to Zhao Ping. He had never seen his biological sister who cheated him like this. Zhao Tianan guessed that Zhao Ping wanted him to be with Ma Xiaofeng, so she came up with this countermeasure. If he had really run into Ma Xiaofeng today, then he naturally had to be responsible for Ma Xiaofeng. Seeing that she had been exposed by Zhao Tianan, Zhao Ping simply didn't hide it. Tianan, big sister can't bear to see you and Xiaofeng in conflict. Anyway, you touched Xiaofeng, so Xiaofeng has to be with you. It's good that you two are married. Tianan, don't tell big sister that you didn't. Big sister gave you an aphrodisiac. You must have touched a woman for the drug to be effective, so you must have touched Xiaofeng. Zhao Tianan suddenly couldn't describe how he felt in his heart. It turned out that everything that had happened today was Zhao Ping's scheme. If they hadn't suddenly run into Mu Hin, his sister's goal would have been achieved. Big sister, I didn't lie. I didn't touch Xiaofeng. You little brat, how can you lie? You still say you didn't lie. Big sister sees that you don't want to take responsibility. This is too much. Zhao Ping shouted and scolded him. Chapter 1250. How could Zhao Ping believe Zhao Tianan's words? If he was drugged with an aphrodisiac, wouldn't he die if there was no woman to help him get rid of it? Why did Zhao Tianan seem to be fine now? Tianan, tell me, how did you come into contact with the aphrodisiac? Zhao Ping asked Zhao Tianan. Zhao Tianan was a little impatient. He knew that if he didn't tell her today, Zhao Ping, would keep asking him, so he replied, "Sister, the person I touched was Mu Hin, not Xiaofeng. Since I have to take responsibility, then I can only take responsibility for Mu Hin. I'll go talk to mother and ask her to go to Mu Hin's house to propose marriage." After hearing Zhao Tianan's words, Zhao Ping was suddenly stunned. She looked at Zhao Tianan in disbelief. "What? You touched Mu Hin, that be *tch? What was going on? Could it be that before he met Ma Xiaofeng, her brother met Mu Hin first? If that was the case, then Zhao Tianan could only be with Mu Hin." Zhao Ping kept muttering in her heart, "It's over, it's over. How could there be such an unlucky thing?" Not only did she not help, but she also made things worse. Zhao Tianan didn't want to talk to Zhao Ping anymore, so he rushed directly into the room of the third branch. "Sister, since I've explained it, if there's nothing else, I'll go and talk to mother first." This matter really had to be discussed with Liang Jinxiao. It couldn't be delayed. Otherwise, Mu Hin wouldn't be angry, and he had to give the girl an explanation. Liang Jinxiao was very happy to know what had happened just now. Compared to Ma Xiaofeng, Liang Jinxiao preferred Mu Hin. After all, Mu Hin was hardworking and sensible. She was a suitable candidate for a daughter-in-law. If Zhao Tianan married Mu Hin, the family could live a happy life together without worrying too much. But if he married Ma Xiaofeng, Qian Chuanxiu alone would have a lot of trouble. Liang Jinxiao smiled and agreed to Zhao Tianan's suggestion. "All right, Tianan. Mother will discuss this with your father later and get this done." Zhao Tianan nodded heavily. "Yes, mother, thank you for your hard work." It's fine. It's not hard at all. Father and mother are willing to work hard for your marriage." Liang Jinxiao's face was full of joy. The people's families, after all, the countryside people's Fang's family. Qiao's mother's mother, SSSS's family's mother's. Seeing that Feng Zhangxiao was already a grandmother, Liang Jinxiao was very envious of her. Seeing that Zhao Tianhu's marriage was almost settled, and that her Tiananzes was also going to be married, old Zhao's family was really full of happy events this year. This was something that had never happened before. Which family could arrange so many things in a year? Not only did they have to marry a daughter-in-law, but they also had to marry off their daughter. On the other hand, after Zhao Yun returned home, she hurriedly boiled some hot water and prepared to take a bath. She was sweating profusely and felt very uncomfortable. At this moment, she felt sticky all over again. It was an indescribable feeling. "Daodu, are you still hungry?" Zhao Yun asked. She thought that if Daodu was hungry, she would cook something for Daodu to eat. Daodu shook his head. "Mother, Daodu isn't hungry." "It's good that you're not hungry. If you're hungry, you can come and find mother again, okay?" Chapter 1251. After Daodu had fallen into the water last time, Zhao Yun was worried that something similar would happen to Daodu again. As a result, she did not want Daodu to go to the riverbank. If something happened to Daodu again, Zhao Yun would not know what to do. During this period of time, Mu Lianfeng had taught Daodu a few ways to swim when he had nothing to do. Daodu had pretty much learned it. Even if he really did fall into the water, he would be able to save himself. Only then did Zhao Yun allow Daodu to go to the riverbank. However, whenever Daodu went, Zhao Yun would remind Daodu to be careful. "Go. Come back when you're done playing. Be careful. Don't fall into the water." Yes. Mother, Daodu understands. "Don't worry." "All right. Then go." With Zhao Tianfu by her side, Zhao Yun felt a little more at ease. Once the two children had caught enough lobsters, they could cook them a dish when they came back at night. Zhao Yun gulped when she thought about the taste of the lobsters. The water in the pot was ready. Just when Zhao Yun was about to take the water for a bath, someone rushed in from outside. It was none other than Mo Yen. Zhao Yun was puzzled. Mo Yen should know that Mu Yanfeng had returned to the young master's estate. Was she here for Mu Yanfeng? Madam. Madam. Mo Yen ran over while panting. Zhao Yun frowned. She thought that something big had happened, so she asked Mo Yen, slow down and catch your breath. Speak slowly. Madam. I've come to ask for your help. Can you help me with something? Zhao Yun said in a hurry when she saw how worried Mo Yen was. Just tell me what you need. There's no need to be embarrassed. If I can help, I definitely will. Mo Yen looked at Zhao Yun'er gratefully. Miss Yun'er, it's actually nothing much. I just need you to make a few dishes. Zhao Yun'er asked in confusion, you eat? Mo Yen waved her hand in a hurry, no, no. How would he dare? If his master knew that he ordered Zhao Yun'er to cook for him, he would definitely peel off a layer of his skin. Then who do you want me to cook for? Mo Yen frowned. She had no idea what to say. After all, that person's identity. He would only dare to say it when his master returned and confirmed whether he could tell Zhao Yun'er. Otherwise, who would dare to say anything? Madam, it's a very important person. I have to treat him well, or he'll get you into trouble if he gets angry, Mo Yen replied vaguely. She still did not reveal the person's identity. Zhao Yun'er knew Mo Yen's difficulties, so she did not ask in detail. All right then. Wait a moment. I'll do it right away. Mo Yen nodded happily, all right, madam. I'll wait for you. Once you're done, I'll send you over. Sigh, it's all because the food on the mountain is just too bad. It's hard to swallow, or it wouldn't be like this. Zhao Yun'er's lips twitched. She guessed that it was probably another important person. Since she had to treat him well, she obviously could not make two shabby dishes. Fortunately, she had prepared some dishes at home. She had not eaten the black fish she had caught 2 days ago, so she could make a dish of black fish with pickled vegetables today. Moreover, there were eggs and vegetables at home. It should be enough to eat. Chapter 1252. Mo Yen nodded in a hurry, all right, all right, all right. Madam, I'll wait for you. All right. Zhao Yun'er turned around and entered the kitchen. She picked up the black fish and began to cook. Zhao Yun'er's knife skills were all right, but not great. She could slice the fish into thin slices. She had made the pickled vegetables before, and they just happened to be ready for the next few days. They came in handy now. Apart from the pickled vegetables and the black fish, Zhao Yun'er also prepared scrambled eggs with green peppers, cucumber salad, and tofu soup with vegetables. Before long, the heavy fragrance of food wafted out from the kitchen. It made Mo Yen sniff heavily. She really wanted to eat. However, these dishes were for the important people waiting on the mountain. She could not eat them herself. In less than an hour, Zhao Yun'er finished cooking. She packed them into a lunchbox and passed it to Mo Yen. All right, it's done. You can send it over, said Zhao Yun'er. Mo Yen thanked Zhao Yun'er gratefully, thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. I'll be off then. Zhao Yun'er smiled, you're welcome. Be careful on the way. If you want to eat my food, you can come over tonight and have a meal with me. Mo Yen was obviously more than happy to hear that. How could she turn down that? She giggled at Zhao Yun'er. All right, madam. I'll come over tonight. His master had left today anyway, so his master would not know if he was freeloading at Zhao Yun'er's place. Originally, he did not think much of it, but he could not help himself when he smelled the fragrance of Zhao Yun'er's food. Be careful on the way. Don't rush. Yep. All right. Zhao Yun'er's lips curled into a smile as she watched Mo Yen depart. This subordinate of Mu Yanfeng really was rather cute. After dealing with Mo Yen, Zhao Yun'er took a bath in a hurry. After washing up, he felt much more comfortable. In the afternoon, Zhao Yun rested at home for a while, then went to the foot of the mountain to find a place to plant tea. Although she had taken a fancy to that barren mountain, she didn't want to buy it with Madame Chi's scheming and cheating. But there had to be a place to grow tea leaves, so they had to find another suitable place. Fortunately, Shui Lan village was close to the mountains. If they really wanted to open up a place, it wouldn't be difficult. Zhao Yun searched for a while and found a piece of land. However, it was slightly further away from the Shui Lan village. It took more than 10 minutes to get there. Moreover, there were more trees in this area. If they wanted to use it to grow tea leaves, they would have to cut down all the trees on the mountain, which would take a lot of effort. It was not as easy to manage as a barren mountain. Looking at it now, it would be even better if they could get that piece of barren land from the Qi family. If they couldn't, they could only make do with this piece of land. Zhao Yun wandered around and prepared to go back. Suddenly, on the way back, they passed by a forest and saw two figures. One of them was actually rather familiar. Zhao Yun hurriedly hid behind a tree and looked in their direction. After looking carefully, she recognized the familiar figure. It was actually young Master Huang. Zhao Yun found it strange. How did young Master Huang come here? Zhao Yun was not far from the two of them, so she heard what they said clearly. Young Master Huang asked, did he do anything unruly during this period of time? Chapter 1253. The other man in black, who seemed to be in his 30s, replied. Are you sure you haven't contacted anyone from the Prime Minister's side? Young Master Huang asked. No, young Master Shizi spends most of his time in the village and rarely interacts with the outside world. Oh right, young Master Shizi often lives with a girl from the village. I've investigated that girl, and she has a clean background. She was born and raised in Shuilan village. Young Master Shizi also cares a lot about her, and there's nothing unusual about her. It seems that young Master Shizi is not disloyal to you. Young Master Huang frowned and fell silent after hearing the man in black's words. If that's the case, then someone must have framed young Master Shizi. Fortunately, he had sent someone to investigate in secret. Otherwise, he would have lost one of his men for nothing. Young Master Huang then said to the man in black, all right, I understand. Keep an eye on him later. If anything happens, report to me immediately. Yes. The man in black replied solemnly. Zhao Yun, who was hiding behind a tree, was very confused when she heard this. So it had something to do with Mu Yanfeng. Judging from their conversation, young Master Huang must have sent this man in black to secretly keep an eye on Mu Yanfeng. She didn't know who young Master Huang was and what his purpose was. She also didn't know if these two people would cause any harm to Mu Yanfeng. As Zhao Yun was thinking about these questions, she accidentally fell down from a nearby tree branch and made a creaking sound. Young Master Huang and the man in black, who were not far away, heard it. Who is it? A cold voice sounded, carrying a hint of danger. Zhao Yun knew that she had been discovered and it was too late for her to escape. She simply pretended that she was just passing by and didn't hear their conversation. Ouch! Zhao Yun sat on the ground and cried out. Young Master Huang and the man in black walked towards Zhao Yun. Young Master Huang's eyes revealed a trace of surprise when he saw Zhao Yun on the ground. Miss Yun, why are you here? Young Master Huang blurted out. Zhao Yun looked at young Master Huang and pretended to be surprised. She said to young Master Huang, yes, young Master Huang. What a coincidence. Aren't you in the county minister's residence? Why are you here? Young Master Huang met with Zhao Yun's puzzled eyes. He didn't explain, I have something to do, so I came here. Miss Yun, what about you? Zhao Yun said, Master Huang, my family lives in Shui Lan village. I came to the mountain to pick some wild vegetables. I didn't expect to accidentally sprain my ankle. After saying that, Zhao Yun's pair of jade hands rubbed her ankles. Hearing Zhao Yun's words, young Master Huang felt that Zhao Yun must have happened to pass by and did not hear the conversation between him and the black-clothed man. Miss Yun, do your feet hurt? Can you walk? Do you want me to help you? Young Master Huang asked with concern. This. Will it trouble you? Young Master Huang smiled and said, It's okay. I'm fine. There's no one on the mountain. Miss Yun, it's hard for you to go back alone, right? Why don't I help you? Zhao Yun, didn't refuse young Master Huang's offer. She responded, All right, young Master Huang, I'll have to trouble you. Fortunately, I met you. Otherwise, I won't be able to meet anyone on this mountain. Chapter 1254. Lord Huang replied politely, then helped Zhao Yuner up from the ground. Zhao Yuner tried her best to pretend that she was just passing by and didn't hear a thing. However, the black-clothed man at the side kept staring at her with a burning gaze, unable to shift his gaze away. Zhao Yuner's forehead was covered with a layer of cold sweat. She was very nervous and scared. Although Lord Huang didn't look like a bad guy, Zhao Yuner didn't know what kind of person he was. Most importantly, Lord Huang had sent someone to spy on Mu Yanfeng. If he wasn't on the same side as Mu Yanfeng, he wouldn't be her friend. He could only be her enemy. If these two people knew that she had overheard their conversation, who knew if they would kill her to silence her? At this moment, Zhao Yuner tried her best to pretend that she hadn't heard anything. She would tell Mu Yanfeng what had happened today when Mu Yanfeng came back. Because Lord Huang had known Zhao Yuner for a while, he was quite familiar with Zhao Yuner, so they chatted casually on the way. I didn't know that Miss Yuner lives in this village. I just came out to have a walk today. I didn't expect that I would meet Miss Yuner. It must be fate. Zhao Yuner smiled. Yeah, it means that we're destined to meet. Where is Miss Yuner's house? Zhao Yuner pointed at a small shabby house not far from the foot of the mountain. My house is over there. Lord Huang was struck dumb for a second when he saw the shabby house. There was sympathy in his eyes. Miss Yuner's house, what's wrong with my house? Lord Huang pursed his lips. He thought about what he was going to say, in case he said something wrong and upset Zhao Yuner. Miss Yun, your house looks very old. Is it comfortable for you to live in such a house? I don't think it's safe either. The entire house was on the verge of collapse. A slight gust of wind or a heavy downpour would probably cause the house to collapse, right? Lord Huang knew that the villagers were poor, but Zhao Yuner's house was the most shabby one compared with the villagers. Zhao Yuner thought that Lord Huang was going to say something else. She smiled. It's fine. Haven't you heard that a mountain is famous not because of its height? Water is famous not because of its depth. It may be a shabby house, but because of its virtue. Hearing Zhao Yuner's words, both Lord Huang and the man in black were struck dumb for a second. It seemed that they couldn't believe that Zhao Yuner, a young woman from the countryside, had said those words. Young Master Huang purposely repeated Zhao Yuner's words to himself. He felt that he had read a lot of poems, but he had never heard the poems that Zhao Yuner had recited before. The man in black, on the other hand, thought that Zhao Yuner wasn't ordinary at all. He had been wondering why Lord Huang would fall in love with a young woman from the countryside. Now it seemed that this young woman was indeed outstanding. Miss Yuner is right, but it would be better if you could live in a better house, said Lord Huang. He cared about Zhao Yuner very much. Chapter 1255. After hearing Zhao Yuner's words, young Master Huang felt relieved. Seeing young Master Huang's concern for her and treating her as a friend, Zhao Yuner sighed in her heart. She hoped that young Master Huang was not a bad person. If young Master Huang and Mu Yanfeng were on opposite sides, Zhao Yun would naturally be on Mu Yanfeng's side. When the time came, she might fall out with young Master Huang. It would be difficult for her to be in the middle. When young Master Huang sent Zhao Yun home, he inevitably met some women in the village. These people were not fond of seeing others happy. When they saw Zhao Yun and young Master Huang together, young Master Huang supported Zhao Yun and felt that it was too intimate. Thus, they began to gossip about Zhao Yun. If you ask me, the most seductive person in the village is Zhao Yun. Isn't that so? What kind of qualifications does she have? She seduced young Master Shitsi. Young Master Shitsi just left and she already hooked up with another man. Look at the clothes of this man in yellow, he doesn't seem to be ordinary. He must be a big shot. Tisk, tsk. I can only say that Yun has the ability to hook up with such a big shot. Look at us. Even if we tried to hook up with him, he would probably ignore us. We'd better inform young Master Shitsi. Otherwise, young Master Shitsi will be deceived by this B***tch. Yes. We can't let this B***tch eat from the bowl and think about the pot. The women gathered together and discussed what to say to Mu Lianfeng. If it was only one person who said it, Mu Lianfeng would definitely not believe it. However, with so many of them testifying to each other, Mu Lianfeng would naturally believe it. The matrons all liked to join in the fun. Recently, old Zhao's family had many happy events. When they saw it, they were very jealous. Thus, they wanted to play tricks on Zhao Ping, and ruin it. Otherwise, Zhao Yun would probably really become the heir consort in the future. Zhao Yun didn't know that there was such a scheme behind her back. Young Master Huang sent Zhao Yun'er back to Zhao Yun'er's house. Zhao Yun'er did not ask him to stay. She thought that young Master Huang was going back to the county magistrate's mansion. She did not expect that young Master Huang would go to the mountain. Zhao Yun'er fell into deep thought as she watched young Master Huang leave. Along the way, the man in black couldn't help but say to young Master Huang, "Master, there's something I don't know if I should say." "If you have something to say, say it." "Why are you being so secretive?" "That. Master. That girl just now, you recognize her, right?" Young Master Huang replied. "Master, that girl is the woman that Lord Shitsi has taken a fancy to." "He has taken a fancy to her?" Young Master Huang's eyes were filled with curiosity. The man in black explained. "He was talking about Zhao Yun'er just now." Young Master Huang was silent when he heard that. His eyebrows furrowed. Zhao Yun'er didn't stay at home for long before Mulan rushed over. Seeing that Mulan was out of breath, Zhao Yun'er hurriedly said, "Sister-in-law Mulan, slow down. Don't rush." Mulan nodded and stood in Zhao Yun'er's house. She was panting heavily, but there was a hint of joy on her face. Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but be curious. What could make Mulan so happy? "What's wrong, sister-in-law Mulan?" Zhao Yun'er asked. Mulan beamed with joy and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, we might be in-laws." Chapter 1256. Mulan. We're going to be in-laws? How are we going to be in-laws? Could it be that you've taken a fancy to my Daodu and want to betroth your heir Hua to my Daodu? Zhao Yun'er thought for a moment and asked in surprise. After all, in ancient times, there were many betrothal arrangements between children. If two families were on good terms, they would arrange a marriage for their children. Upon hearing Zhao Yun'er's words, Mulan couldn't help but chuckle. She was amused by Zhao Yun'er. "I say, Yun'er, you're too interesting. What are you thinking in that head of yours? Your Daodu is the little heir. My heir Hua is out of your league. That's not what I'm talking about." "Then, sister-in-law Mulan, which one are you talking about? How are we going to be in-laws?" Zhao Yun'er asked. Mulan patted her own mouth and hurriedly explained, Ba, I'm wrong. Yun'er, it's not that we're going to be in-laws. It's that our family and your father's family are going to be in-laws." "What?" Zhao Yun'er still didn't know what Mulan wanted to say. She was completely confused. Mulan was also very anxious to explain. "Hey, Yun'er, it's like this." Mulan decided to speak slowly. She was an impatient person. Once she was happy, she didn't know what to say. "Sister-in-law Mulan, speak slowly." "I'm listening." Mulan poured a glass of water on Zhao Yun's table and swallowed it. Then, she explained, Mu-hin went back this afternoon. I saw her face was red, so I hurriedly asked her about the situation. This child didn't say anything. She secretly took off her clothes and washed them. There were still some red bloodstains on them. She didn't walk much. I look like I've already done it, however, she didn't want to tell me. I was worried and thought that someone had bullied her. I hurried to ask her, and she finally told me. Guess what it is? Zhao Yun'er frowned. She thought for a moment and shook her head. I don't know. Sister Mulan, what's the reason? Mu-hin said that he did it with Tianan. Zhao Yun'er was stunned. You did that thing with Tianan? That's right. Mulan nodded her head heavily. If it had been someone else, Mulan might have had some objections. But when she thought of Zhao Tianan, Mulan felt that it was a good idea. After all, Zhao Tianan was a reliable man. As his sister, she wouldn't have to suffer if she followed Zhao Tianan. As for why the two of them did it, it was probably because they were in love and couldn't help it. Her sister also said that Zhao Tianan would be responsible for her, so she didn't have to worry about anything. As long as the two families got married as soon as possible, everything would be fine. Tell me, isn't this great news? If we become in-laws with your family, I'll be very happy. After all, it's not easy for my sister to find a reliable man. At her age, she should be thinking about marriage. After listening to Mu-hin's explanation, Zhao Yun'er finally understood what was going on. It seemed that Zhao Tianan had really given up on Ma Xiaofeng and got together with Mu-hin. Seeing this result, Zhao Yun'er was naturally happy. Compared to Ma Xiaofeng, Mu-hin was much better. It was good that Zhao Tianan could repent in time and jump out. This way, they wouldn't be poisoned by Ma Xiaofeng in the future and their family would be tormented by Ma Xiaofeng. Chapter 1257. With Zhao Yun'er's words, Mulan felt a lot more at ease. She was still a little afraid that Zhao Tianan did not really want to be in charge. Men were creatures of the lower half of their bodies. What they said might not be reliable. It would only count if they really did it. Since you said that, we'll have to discuss it with your parents later. Mulan said. Zhao Yun'er patted Mulan. Don't worry, sister-in-law Mulan. Leave it to me. Yes. I'll also take care of my family. If we really hold the wedding earlier, we can also prepare some things for Mu-hin. Now that Mu-hin was living with Mulan, since they could not rely on the Mu family, as the elder sister, she naturally had to make sure that her younger sister's wedding was grand. She could not let Mu-hin suffer. Fortunately, the conditions were better now. She could prepare the things that needed to be prepared for Mu-hin's wedding. Sister-in-law Mulan, look at you. You're even happier than when you're marrying your own daughter. Zhao Yun could not help but tease her. Mulan smiled shyly. Her reaction was indeed a little exaggerated. However, she could not suppress the excitement in her heart, so she acted like this. Of course, the most important thing was that she liked Zhao Yun'er and her family. If she were to marry someone else, she would not necessarily be so happy. I only have one younger sister, Mu-hin. Isn't it just like how I treat my own daughter? Mulan said with a smile. While they were talking, Liang Jinxiao also found Zhao Yun'er. He was just about to discuss the marriage between Zhao Tianan and Mu-hin with Zhao Yun'er. Unexpectedly, Mulan was also there. The three women just happened to gather together and chatter. Without a doubt, everyone was very happy and looked forward to this marriage. After some discussion, they felt that it was very appropriate to hold a wedding for Zhao Tianan and Mu-hin after Zhao Yun'er's house was built. After all, by that time, Zhao Yun'er's family would have a new house with a lot of rooms. They would be able to spare a wedding room for Zhao Tianan and Mu-hin. Then, they would hold a grand wedding, and both families would be happy. It wouldn't take long for Zhao Yun'er's house to be finished, so there was no need to rush. In any case, the two families had already discussed it, so there was nothing to worry about. After the discussion, Liang Jinxiao left. Zhao Yun prepared to go to Mulan's house with Mulan. She had run out of soap at home. It would be too late to make more soap now. Therefore, she wanted to go to Mulan's house to get some and see Mu Hin. Mulan didn't refuse. Zhao Yun was at home anyway. Anyway, there was nothing to do, so there was no harm in going to her house. The two of them walked in the direction of Mulan's house together. When they arrived at Mulan's house, Mu Hin stayed in the house and didn't come out. As a girl, it was inevitable that she would be a little shy when experiencing this kind of thing for the first time. She hid in the house and was too embarrassed to come out to meet people. Zhao Yun had just gone to Mulan's yard, and Madame Qi was busy in the yard. Her youngest son changed a lot of diapers every day, and no one helped her wash them. She had to wash them herself. She had to cook, do housework, and take care of the child. Every day, Madame Qi was so tired that she couldn't bear it. As soon as she saw Zhao Yun coming over, Madame Qi immediately became excited. She quickly put down the work in her hands and excitedly went up to Zhao Yun and asked, "Zhao Yun, are you here to buy the barren mountain? We can discuss the price again. I'll give you a discount." Chapter 1258. She replied faintly to Madame Qi, "Sorry, you're thinking too much. I don't intend to buy your barren mountain." When Madame Qi heard this, she immediately became anxious. "I say, Zhao Yun, if you can't find any other land, can't you just sell it to me for some money? What else do you want?" Previously, when Zhao Yun said that she didn't want it, she still had hope in her heart that Zhao Yun would eventually come back to buy it from her. However, after waiting for Zhao Yun for a while, Zhao Yun didn't come back at all. Today, when Zhao Yun came to her place again, Madame Qi thought that she wanted to buy it, but she didn't expect that she wouldn't buy it. Now, she didn't know what to do. "So what if you don't want it? You just don't want to buy it. Since you like it, you can guard it yourself. Why do you want us to buy it?" Zhao Yun couldn't help but reply. "You," Madame Qi glared angrily at Zhao Yun, not knowing what to say. She sat back on the stool and kept muttering in her heart, "It's over, it's over." It seems that Zhao Yun really doesn't want to buy it. She couldn't sell the barren mountain that she bought with 5 taels of silver. 5 taels of silver wasn't a small amount. Zhu Dainiu said that if she lost 5 taels of silver, she would be rented to someone else as a wife and earn back the 5 taels of silver. In ancient times, many poor families couldn't find a wife, but wanted to continue the family line, so they would spend some money to rent someone else's wife. When the time came and the child was born, the woman would be sent back. But this method was very sinful for women. Basically, the woman who was rented out would not be welcomed in her husband's family when she returned home. And most importantly, she would be looked down upon. When the time came, the rumors in the village would be enough for her to suffer. No matter what, Madame Qi thought that she couldn't go down such a path. The problem now was that Zhao Yun didn't want to buy it, and no one would buy it. It would be difficult to get back the 5 taels of silver. Madame Qi was a little anxious and didn't know what to do. From the looks of it, she had to be thick-skinned and talk to Li Zheng about it. She wanted Li Zheng to take back this piece of wasteland and return her money. Otherwise, she would be rented out by Zhu Dainiu. Zhao Yun stole a glance at Madame Qi and couldn't help but gloat in her heart. Zhao Yun was still thinking about the wasteland in Madame Qi's hands if she didn't feel bad about what Madame Qi had done and wanted her to suffer a little. If he bought it for 5 taels of silver, he wouldn't have to go to the foot of the mountain to cultivate it. After all, it was troublesome to hire people to reclaim the land. Now Zhao Yun was just waiting for the Qi family to be desperate and beg her to buy it. Then she would give a lower price and take advantage of the Qi family. Mulan went into the house and took out the soap for Zhao Yun. "Yun, come, this is for you. I don't have much left at home. I have to get some later. Otherwise, I won't have enough to wash the clothes," Mulan said. Zhao Yun'er nodded. Okay, sister-in-law Mulan, call me when you go. I'll go too. Mulan waved her hand and said, it's okay, no need. Yun'er, you're busy every day. I'll get some soap for you. It's not a big deal anyway. Okay. Thank you, sister-in-law Mulan. Zhao Yun'er didn't refuse and agreed. It's okay, you don't have to be polite with me. It's not a big deal. Mulan replied indifferently. After getting the soap, Zhao Yun'er prepared to see Mu Hin. Chapter 1259. It was probably her first time doing it, so she was not feeling well and was resting now. Zhao Yun'er glanced at Mu Hin, afraid that Mu Hin would be embarrassed. Xin, are you still in pain? Mulan went forward and asked with concern. Hearing Mulan's voice, Mu Hin said shyly, Sis, I'm fine. It's normal for it to hurt for the first time. I'll boil some hot water for you to wash later. Mu Hin responded. She was still very shy and did not know how to respond to Mulan. Faced with Mulan's straightforwardness, Zhao Yun'er smiled and said to Mulan, Sister-in-law Mulan, don't harp on this matter. Otherwise, Mu Hin will be embarrassed. Don't you think so? Look at my brain, I didn't think of this. Sigh, it's all my fault. Xin, you should rest first. I'm going to work. Mulan wanted to leave the house quickly so that Mu Hin could have some peace and quiet. Hearing that Mulan was going to work, Mu Hin quickly jumped out of bed and wanted to help Mulan. Sis, I'll go too. No need. Xin, you can just rest. Anyway, there's nothing to do. I can do it alone. Sis. Mu Hin's cheeks blushed slightly. I told you to rest, so you should rest. Don't push me. Mu Hin sighed. Alright then, sis. If you encounter any difficulties, you have to tell me. I know. Zhao Yun did not stay at Mulan's house for long. She went back first. She had not washed the clothes that she had changed out of after the shower. She would wash them later so that she could save them for tomorrow. Ma Xiaofeng was in the same situation as Mu Hin. This was the first time someone had done it to her, so her lower body was in great pain. Lu San wasn't gentle at all. He didn't pay attention when he was doing it, and his lower body moved a lot. Therefore, Ma Xiaofeng's lower body was injured. At this moment, he felt that his thing was a little swollen and painful. It was extremely uncomfortable. However, there was nothing she could do. She couldn't tell anyone about this. She couldn't even tell her mother about it. If she did, not only would her mother not care about her, she would even scold her to death. Ma Xiaofeng dragged her painful body back home. When she arrived at the courtyard, she found that the door of her house was tightly shut. However, when they got closer, they heard a moaning sound coming from inside. Ma Xiaofeng leaned closer to listen. It was her mother. It wasn't that Ma Xiaofeng hadn't encountered this before, so she knew exactly what the people inside were doing. She sighed softly in her heart. Her mother was doing dirty things with Zhao Wenshui again. She really couldn't do anything about her mother, but she couldn't say anything either. It was broad daylight. If someone came to the door and heard the commotion in her house, gossip would spread and their house would be slandered to death. The house was closed, so Ma Xiaofeng couldn't go in. She could only wait in the courtyard. She would only go in when her mother and Zhao Wenshui were done. In the house, Zhao Wenshui was panting as he did it with Qian Chuanxiu. After they finished pleasurably, Qian Chuanxiu reminded Zhao Wenshui, you have to remember what you promised me. If you can't do it this time, don't think of looking for me again. Zhao Wenshui immediately agreed. Don't worry. Since you promised, you'll definitely keep your promise. I'll go back and talk to my mother. I'm 80% sure that you can't do it, but I'll steal it at night. I'll send it to you after I steal it. You have to give me some time. I'll only do it at night. Chapter 1260. Okay. Don't worry. You're my precious baby. Why would I lie to you? Zhao Wenshui smiled wretchedly with a wretched expression on his face. Qian Chuanxiu pursed her lips and said to Zhao Wenshui, okay, okay. Don't talk nonsense in front of me. Get the thing to me first. Weren't you like this before? You swore in front of me that you would do it, but then you couldn't even fart. Zhao Wenshui, you tricked me once. Don't even think about tricking me a second time. I know, I know. Then I'll go back now. Okay, you can go back. Be careful and see if there's anyone around. If there's no one, then get out. Qian Chuanxiu exhorted. She was afraid that someone would see them. No matter what, she and Zhao Wenshui were having an affair. The people in the village were the most shameless and would not allow it. I know, I know. I'm not that stupid. Zhao Wenshui replied. Okay. Qian Chuanxiu responded. She watched as Zhao Wenshui secretly opened the door and went out. She sat on the bed and tidied up her clothes unhurriedly. She was helpless. If she had a choice, she would not like a man like Zhao Wenshui. There was nothing good about him. Even when it came to sex, he was not as good as Ma Xiaofeng's father. Fortunately, Zhao Wenshui seemed to be better this time. He could last a little longer. The previous few times, Zhao Wenshui could not last more than a few minutes. This time, he could last for more than 10 minutes. It made her feel good. Otherwise, she would have complained. After Zhao Wenshui left for a while, Ma Xiaofeng entered the room. Qian Chuanxiu had already tidied up her clothes. Seeing Ma Xiaofeng come in, she angrily questioned her, I say, you wretched girl, where did you run off to for the entire afternoon? She doesn't even do the chores at home anymore. Looks like she's learned to slack off just like Xiao Ping. The corner of Ma Xiaofeng's mouth twitched, and a trace of grievance appeared in her eyes. If she didn't leave, how could her mother and Zhao Wenshui do such dirty things so conveniently? Originally, he had been wronged and was very sad. Once he came back, he was caught by Qian Chuanxiu and scolded. It would be strange if he felt comfortable in his heart. Mother. It's not like I don't want to do it. I didn't do any work at home. How can you accuse me of being lazy? Ma Xiaofeng retorted. She couldn't hold it in anymore. Qian Chuanxiu was infuriated when she heard that. You wretched girl, you're still being stubborn. Mother, I'm just telling the truth. How am I lazy? Other girls definitely don't have as much work as I do. Ma Xiaofeng felt uncomfortable and continued to say. If it were any other day, she wouldn't dare to argue with Qian Chuanxiu like this. All right, you wretched girl. Watch how I deal with you. As Qian Chuanxiu spoke, she picked up the broom beside her and hit Ma Xiaofeng's body. It hurts. Ma Xiaofeng shouted. She didn't know if it was because of the pain from Qian Chuanxiu's hit or because her lower body hurt. In any case, her whole body hurt. As she shouted, the grievance in her heart made Ma Xiaofeng burst into tears. Why was she so pitiful? Forget that her father died when she was young. Qian Chuanxiu raised her, and Qian Chuanxiu didn't treat her well. She only had her younger brother in her heart. Chapter 1261. If it weren't for the 50 taels of silver that her mother asked for as a gift, Zhao Tianan wouldn't have backed out. After all, she and Zhao Tianan were still on good terms before. If it weren't for her mother's words, it was likely that Mu Hin wouldn't have been able to come between her and Zhao Tianan. Now everything was too late. Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin were together, so it was absolutely impossible for him to be with her. He was also ruined by Lu San. When the time came, even if she got married, she was afraid that it would be difficult for her to get married. Therefore, all of this was her mother's fault. Her mother was the bad person, the instigator. If she lived a miserable life in the future, it would be all because of her mother. The more she thought about this, the more Ma Xiaofeng's tears flowed down. Wu Wu, seeing Ma Xiaofeng cry, Qian Chuanxiu suddenly froze. You wretched girl, what are you crying for? I haven't punished you yet, but you're crying so hard. Qian Chuanxiu scolded angrily. However, Ma Xiaofeng still continued to cry, as if she was very sad. Qian Chuanxiu, who originally wanted to continue to hit Ma Xiaofeng, stopped the movement of her hands and questioned Ma Xiaofeng, I say, you wretched girl, why are you still crying so hard? Didn't I just lightly hit you a few times? You make it seem like I did something to you. Ma Xiaofeng ignored Qian Chuanxiu and just sobbed hard. Qian Chuanxiu was really helpless, so she had to coax, okay, you wretched girl, stop crying. Mother won't hit you anymore, okay? Qian Chuanxiu looked at Ma Xiaofeng and was really helpless. She had said all kinds of good and bad words, but Ma Xiaofeng still didn't listen to her. There was nothing she could do. I say, Xiaofeng, what's wrong with you? Can you say something to mother? Woo. Mother, what are you talking about? Tell me quickly. Are you trying to kill me? Qian Chuanxiu hurriedly urged. Ma Xiaofeng thought for a while. Should she tell Qian Chuanxiu about Lu San? Looking into Qian Chuanxiu's eyes, Ma Xiaofeng found that Qian Chuanxiu was looking at her with concern. It seemed that Qian Chuanxiu still cared about her daughter. Ma Xiaofeng felt that if she didn't say it out loud and kept it in her heart, she would definitely feel uncomfortable. If Qian Chuanxiu couldn't be trusted, then the others couldn't be trusted either. She didn't have any solution now. If she told Qian Chuanxiu, maybe Qian Chuanxiu could help her think of a solution. Ma Xiaofeng choked and asked Qian Chuanxiu, Mother, if I tell you, will you hit me or scold me? I'll only tell you if you don't hit me or scold me. Qian Chuanxiu was so anxious that she had no choice but to agree quickly. Okay. Tell me. Mother won't scold you or hit you, okay? After hearing Qian Chuanxiu's promise, Ma Xiaofeng felt relieved and told Qian Chuanxiu the truth. Mother. I was bullied by Lu San. When Qian Chuanxiu heard the two words, Lu San, come out of Ma Xiaofeng's mouth, she knew that it wasn't anything good. After all, Lu San was a rascal in the village. He always bullied young ladies and young wives. Who knew how many people had been tormented by Lu San? Not to mention a young lady like Ma Xiaofeng, even a woman of her age would be afraid when she saw Lu San. This was because Lu San didn't care about age when he picked people to bully. As long as it was a good-looking woman, he would hit her. Chapter 1262. Mother. I was bullied like that. Ma Xiaofeng's face instantly turned red. She was so embarrassed that she didn't know what to say. Qian Chuanxiu asked anxiously, what do you mean by like that? What exactly is it like? Ma Xiaofeng's words were vague. She didn't know the extent of bullying. Kissing and touching was bullying. Doing that thing was also bullying. The degree of bullying was different, and the consequences were completely different. If it was just kissing and touching, it was just teasing. Since she didn't lose a piece of flesh, she would forget about it and act as if nothing had happened. However, if she was caught by Lu San doing that, the situation would be completely different. Speaking of which, it was really a little serious. After all, a woman's chastity was ruined. It was a major event that would affect her marriage in the future. A woman who wasn't a virgin, to put it bluntly, was unclean. Usually, men with slightly better conditions wouldn't want her. Mother, sob. Ma Xiaofeng couldn't say anything and started crying. After sobbing for a while, she said to Qian Chuanxiu, Mother, it's just. I was pressed down and got down there. Qian Chuanxiu's mind went blank for a moment. She opened her mouth and wanted to say something, but she didn't know where to start. After a few seconds, she patted her thigh and started crying. "Io, why is my life so tragic? Her man died at a young age, and it wasn't easy for her to raise her daughter. She originally wanted to get a sum of money from her daughter. Now, after being ruined by Lu San, it was already good enough that her daughter could get married. How could she still think about other people's money? Mother, sob. Seeing that Qian Chuanxiu was crying so miserably, Ma Xiaofeng started crying as well. She couldn't comfort Qian Chuanxiu, nor could she comfort herself. This matter was still too big of a blow to her. After Qian Chuanxiu finished crying, she rushed straight to the kitchen. Ma Xiaofeng hurriedly followed, wondering what Qian Chuanxiu was going to do. Qian Chuanxiu took a kitchen knife from the kitchen and rushed out angrily. Ma Xiaofeng quickly asked, "Mother, where are you going?" Qian Chuanxiu was so angry that her face turned pale. There was a fierce look in her eyes as she replied to Ma Xiaofeng, "What for?" Of course, he had to settle the score with Lu San. "My innocent daughter has been defiled by him. Shouldn't you at least give me an explanation? Otherwise, I'll definitely chop him into pieces." Hearing Qian Chuanxiu's words, Ma Xiaofeng cried and begged, "Mother, don't go, please don't go. If you go, I'm sure everyone will know that I did that. How am I going to live in the future?" Qian Chuanxiu calmed down a little. As the saying goes, don't wash your dirty linen in public. Ma Xiaofeng was telling the truth. Ma Xiaofeng continued to persuade her, "Mother, no one knows that I was bullied by Lu San. If we keep it a secret, everyone will probably think that I'm innocent. If we settle the score with Lu San, no one will dare to come to our house to propose marriage. I'm afraid that I won't be able to get married for the rest of my life." Qian Chuanxiu sighed deeply. "That won't do. Are we going to let Lu San off just like that? Mother, what else can we do? How many people in the village did he bully? Who exposed this matter again? Isn't everything fine now? Mother, help me think of another way. What should I do now?" Ma Xiaofeng looked pleadingly at Qian Chuanxiu. Chapter 1263. She had to think of a way. Ma Xiaofeng had been bullied by Lu San. Even if she went to Lu San, she probably wouldn't be able to get anything out of it. After all, Lu San was a pauper and couldn't take out much money at all. Even if she killed Lu San, it wouldn't do their family any good. Instead, it would let people know that her Xiaofeng had been defiled by Lu San. Okay, then mother won't go. I have to think of other ways. Xiaofeng, weren't you and that Zhao Tianan good before? Can't you let him be with you? Mother, I have no contact with him anymore. Don't talk about him. Ma Xiaofeng lowered her head and suppressed her anger. Her mother was really. Everything was fine before, but she didn't think of Zhao Tianan. Now that she messed up, she thought of Zhao Tianan. However, it didn't make any sense now. There was no hope for her to be with Zhao Tianan. Xiaofeng, you can only find someone with good conditions. How long has it been? Could it be that he has a change of heart for you? Mother, isn't this all your fault? If you hadn't asked him for the 50 taels of silver, I guess I would be living with him now. Today's things wouldn't have happened. Qian Chuanxiu's heart was also annoyed. Xiaofeng, mother didn't know at that time. If I had known that something like this would happen today, who would have asked him for the 50 taels of silver? How about this, you go and talk to Zhao Tianan first. Just say that I don't want the 50 taels of silver as a gift. See what he says. If I give him a daughter for no reason, he won't say anything, right? Qian Chuanxiu wasn't really so generous that she was willing to give up the gift money. But she knew very well that with Ma Xiaofeng's current situation, it would be difficult for her to get the gift money even if she married someone else. She might as well marry Zhao Tianan. At any rate, Zhao Tianan's family conditions were good. When Ma Xiaofeng married him, she might be able to send some things back to her family from time to time. She could be considered to have made a profit. Ma Xiaofeng didn't know what Zhao Tianan would say if she didn't even want the money. In any case, she had to try no matter what. At worst, she could just pretend to be pitiful and beg Zhao Tianan. As long as Zhao Tianan still had some nostalgia for her in his heart, he couldn't bear to see her too miserable. Mother, then I'll talk about it later. If it really doesn't work, then there's no other way. Ma Xiaofeng said in a deep voice. Qian Chuanxiu continued to sigh. She was worried about Ma Xiaofeng. He always felt uneasy, as if something big and troublesome would happen later. She was also thinking that she was too unlucky. Otherwise, with Ma Xiaofeng's appearance, she would definitely be able to find a good matchmaker in the surrounding villages. Even if she couldn't get 50 taels of silver as the gift money, 10 taels of silver or so would be easy to get. As for now, AI. Qian Chuanxiu sighed heavily and put down the kitchen knife in her hand. Facing Ma Xiaofeng, she didn't dare to speak too harshly. Thinking about it, her daughter had suffered a big blow today. If she spoke too harshly, Ma Xiaofeng would take things too hard and kill herself or jump into the river. Then she would lose a daughter for no reason. No matter what, she was a piece of flesh that fell from her own body. It would be a lie to say that she didn't feel any heartache. She had raised her daughter with great difficulty. When she was old, she definitely couldn't count on her son. More or less, she would need Ma Xiaofeng to help her shoulder the burden. Chapter 1264. Okay, Xiaofeng, don't cry. Since it happened, there's nothing we can do about it. Go and rest. Mother will boil some water for you to wash. Qian Chuanxiu said gently to Ma Xiaofeng. Since it was her first time doing it, her body must be dirty and painful down there, so she had to soak in hot water. It was Ma Xiaofeng's first time seeing Qian Chuanxiu like this, and she was slightly touched. Mother. Okay. Ma Xiaofeng responded. AI. Qian Chuanxiu sighed again, then went into the kitchen and began to boil water. Qian Chuanxiu was hoping that Zhao Wenshui could really bring something for her to eat. Her Xiaofeng's body needed to be nourished and recuperated. Otherwise, Ma Xiaofeng's body might not be able to take it because of her sadness. At night, Qian Chuanxiu saw that Zhao Wenshui didn't come over for a long time. Because Zhao Wenshui wasn't reliable, she knew that he couldn't bring anything good, so she went to sleep. But in the middle of the night, there was a knock on the door. Hearing the noise, Qian Chuanxiu opened the door. It was Zhao Wenshui standing outside. Qian Chuanxiu was instantly delighted. She was yawning, but after seeing Zhao Wenshui, she immediately became energetic. Qian Chuanxiu smiled and asked, Zhao Wenshui, did you bring something here? Did you get it? Zhao Wenshui quickly responded, I got it. It's all meat. Hearing Zhao Wenshui say that it was all meat, Qian Chuanxiu was even happier. That's good. Quick. Come in quickly. Okay. Zhao Wenshui responded eagerly and followed Qian Chuanxiu into the house. Zhao Wenshui took out 2 big packets of yellow oil paper from his sleeves. The yellow oil paper contained the meat dishes stolen from old Zhao's house. He opened the yellow oil paper and took a look. There were some braised pork and some steamed meat. These were all good stuff. How could the villagers eat such good food on a normal day? It would be amazing if there were a few drops of sesame oil in the food. Qian Chuanxiu leaned closer to take a sniff. A fragrant smell came to her face, and she couldn't help but swallow her saliva. Ah, it's all meat. Just looking at it makes me drool. Zhao Wenshui, you are really capable this time. Qian Chuanxiu praised Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui smiled proudly. Of course. Since I've promised, I'll definitely deliver it to you. Qian Chuanxiu threw a coquettish glance at Zhao Wenshui. Not bad, Zhao Wenshui, you've done one thing. As soon as Qian Chuanxiu finished speaking, Zhao Wenshui leaned over wretchedly and hugged Qian Chuanxiu. He blew into Qian Chuanxiu's ear and said flirtatiously, since I've done this, shouldn't you reward me? Qian Chuanxiu naturally knew what the reward Zhao Wenshui was talking about was. She glared at Zhao Wenshui coquettishly. That's enough. Don't be naughty in front of me. The 2 children are sleeping in the house. If we make any noise, they will definitely wake up. Zhao Wenshui continued to hug Qian Chuanxiu shamelessly and begged, that's okay. Let's be gentle, Aya, you. You're really something. Why are you in such a hurry? It's not like you don't have other opportunities. It's the middle of the night, and the two children are at home. It's not convenient. Come over tomorrow. Qian Chuanxiu said seriously. Chapter 1265. Ah. Okay. I'll come back tomorrow. Zhao Wenxue murmured as he stared at Qian Chuanxiu with his lustful eyes. No matter how he looked at Qian Chuanxiu, he felt that Qian Chuanxiu was much prettier than his wife. Qian Chuanxiu's face was very delicate, and her facial features were very beautiful. Okay, I'll come back tomorrow. Qian Chuanxiu said hurriedly. Before leaving, Zhao Wenxue pulled Qian Chuanxiu and said to her, how about a kiss? Looking into Zhao Wenxue's expectant eyes, Qian Chuanxiu couldn't refuse. She twitched the corner of her mouth and said to Zhao Wenxue, okay, hurry up. Don't be too slow. Okay. Zhao Wenxue answered happily and quickly kissed Qian Chuanxiu's face. Then he turned around and went back happily. Qian Chuanxiu originally planned to go back to sleep, but she couldn't sleep because of the meat on the table. She wanted to taste it quickly. So she took 2 plates of meat to the kitchen and reheated them in the middle of the night. Not long after, a fragrant smell wafted out of the kitchen. She didn't believe it before, but now she finally believed it. Old Zhao's banquet this time was really good. Let's not talk about other dishes. Qian Chuanxiu tasted the 2 dishes that Zhao Wenxue sent over and exclaimed that she had never eaten such delicious food. After eating, Qian Chuanxiu hurriedly asked her 2 children to get up and eat. The 2 plates of meat were eaten clean by the 3 of them. Qian Chuanxiu thought to herself that she should ask Zhao Wenxue to get more. She hadn't eaten enough yet. The next day, Zhao Yun continued to go up the mountain to pick tea. There were a lot of tea leaves stored at home, about 20 kilograms. With so many tea leaves, she had to continue to sell them. She had to go to the county magistrate's mansion and ask about the situation when she was free. She couldn't expect the county magistrate to bring news to her. After all, the county magistrate was busy with many things on weekdays. Helping her to promote the tea leaves was a great help to her. Zhao Yun spent the entire morning picking tea leaves. When it was close to noon, Mu Lianfeng returned from Yang City. He did not spend too much time in the crown prince's residence. She only stayed for a day. She didn't know why old Madame Mu let Mu Lianfeng go so easily. When Zhao Yun'er saw Mu Lianfeng, she found that Mu Lianfeng had a sullen face and looked very unhappy. Something unpleasant must have happened in Yang City. Zhao Yun'er hurriedly asked, Mu Lianfeng, what's wrong with you? You seem to have a lot on your mind. Did you encounter something troublesome? Speaking of this, Mu Lianfeng sighed and didn't say anything. He just held Zhao Yun'er tightly in his arms. Zhao Yun'er was even more worried and hurriedly asked, Mu Lianfeng, what's wrong? Can you tell me about it? He didn't even give her an explanation. She was really anxious. Yun'er, what if I implicate you in the future? Mu Lianfeng asked in a low voice. Zhao Yun'er was puzzled. She didn't know why Mu Lianfeng suddenly said this. She continued to ask, what do you mean by implicating me in the future? What can you implicate me in? Mu Lianfeng, could it be that His Majesty is making things difficult for you and punishing you for something? Mu Lianfeng shook his head. It has nothing to do with His Majesty, but... Chapter 1266. This marriage was between Mu Lianfeng and Murong Shuang, Mu Lianfeng's cousin. The Murong family and imperial consort Hua's family had been friends for generations. Murong Shuang and imperial consort Hua were cousins. Imperial consort Hua's birth mother was Murong Shuang's aunt. This time, the marriage between Murong Shuang and Mu Lianfeng. Imperial consort Hua's relationship was used to grant the marriage. The reason for this was that Mu Lianfeng's attitude towards Murong Shuang was too cold, so Murong Shuang went to extremes. Since the marriage was granted, Mu Lianfeng had to marry Murong Shuang unless he disobeyed the imperial edict. Mu Lianfeng received the imperial edict when he went back this time. He was very upset. He didn't like Murong Shuang, and he didn't like being tied to Murong Shuang in this way. According to old Madame Mu, she was happy to do so. She kept persuading Mu Yanfeng to marry Murong Shuang. However, Mu Yanfeng didn't agree no matter what. He was determined not to give in. This time, he made a big fuss and left the young lord's mansion. Even if he disobeyed the imperial edict, even if he displeased imperial consort Hua, even if he was severely punished in the future, Mu Yanfeng still wanted to insist. After all, he only had Zhao Yun, in his heart. If he wanted to marry someone, he would only marry Zhao Yun, After hearing Mu Yanfeng's bitterness, Zhao Yun, was silent for a moment. She was puzzled. She didn't offend anyone. How did she offend imperial consort Hua? Now that she thought about it, it probably had something to do with Murong Shuang. If it wasn't Murong Shuang who made tit for tat and asked someone to stir up trouble at her breakfast stall, who could it be? It couldn't be imperial consort Hua, who was far away in the capital, could it? Zhao Yun, believed in her heart that a person like imperial concubine Hua would definitely disdain to bother with her. After all, she was just a little woman in the countryside. She had nothing to do with imperial consort Hua. This Murong Shuang, Zhao Yun, gritted her teeth. Since she dared to steal her man, she would have to see if she would let her. Mu Yanfeng, what will happen if you defy the decree? No matter what, Zhao Yun's first consideration was Mu Yanfeng's situation. She couldn't let Mu Yanfeng lose his life for her, right? Mu Yanfeng said in a low voice, "At most, I'll be stripped of my title and suffer some physical pain. I think I can still keep my life." When Zhao Yun heard Mu Yanfeng say that his title would be removed, she thought that the situation was really serious. If Mu Yanfeng gave up his status as the heir apparent, Zhao Yun would feel that it was a pity. She was not greedy for power, but she felt that Mu Yanfeng had sacrificed too much to be with her. In ancient times, what people valued the most was wealth. Mu Yanfeng was an honorable man. Even if he gave up, he couldn't possibly stay in the countryside and farm with her. Wouldn't that be too oppressive for Mu Yanfeng? Mu Yanfeng, can you find a way to get the best of both worlds? Zhao Yun, asked with a frown. In her heart, she didn't want to give Mu Yanfeng to Murong Shuang, but she also didn't want Mu Yanfeng to suffer. A way to get the best of both worlds? Mu Yanfeng thought about it. It was probably impossible to ask imperial consort Hua for help. Unless he asked the emperor for help. However, with the Hua family's influence, Mu Yanfeng wasn't sure if the emperor would give up on him because of the Hua family's influence. You can try to talk to the emperor, but I'm not sure if it will work. Mu Yanfeng said. The emperor? Yes. Mu Yanfeng nodded. Then do you have to rush to the capital? Chapter 1267. Now he could only rely on this method. No matter what, Mu Yanfeng thought that he had to try. If he succeeded, he would not be afraid of offending imperial consort Hua. Although the emperor did not have much real power, the imperial edict was still more powerful than the imperial edict of the empress. Okay. But there's no hurry. Let's take a rest today and go tomorrow. Mu Yanfeng nodded and let go of Zhao Yun reluctantly. He whispered in Zhao Yun's ear, "Yun, don't worry. No matter what, the only woman in my heart is you. The only woman I want to marry is you." This sentence seemed to be Mu Yanfeng's promise to Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun answered. Okay. Mu Yanfeng, I believe in you. Okay. After Mu Yanfeng and Zhao Yun lingered for a while, they hurried to the mountain. He wanted to settle the matters on the mountain so that he could leave for the capital tomorrow. Otherwise, Mu Yanfeng would not be at ease if he did not tell her anything. There were many things on the mountain. It would be difficult for Mo Yen to deal with them alone. Zhao Yun went to old Zhao's house. She was going to help Liang Jinxiao take care of the food for old Zhao's family. As soon as they arrived at old Zhao's courtyard, they heard the quarrel in the courtyard. Because at noon, old Zhao's family found that there was much less meat, especially steamed meat. It was too little. After eating last night, Hu Chunhua checked the leftovers. Now that she looked at them again, she could tell that something was wrong. She shouted in the courtyard. She was shouting at the people of old Zhao's family. Who the hell is it? Come out and eat the food in the kitchen. Aren't you afraid of being stuffed to death after eating so much steamed meat? How shameless. How dare you do such a sneaky thing? If I catch you later, I'll tear you apart. Hu Chunhua scolded and spat out saliva from her mouth. Old Zhao's daughters-in-law were trembling with fear. Seeing Hu Chunhua's fierce look, they knew that they would be in trouble later. After all, if Hu Chunhua was in a bad mood, they would suffer with her. Hu Chunhua stood and scolded for a day. Feng Zhangxia came to Hu Chunhua and said to Hu Chunhua, "Mother, we were full last night and we were not hungry. Why did you steal the food in the kitchen? Don't you think so?" Hu Chunhua snorted, "You didn't steal it. Then tell me, could it be that the meat in the kitchen grew wings and flew away?" Feng Zhangxia pursed her lips and continued to explain, "Mother, what are you talking about? Think about it. There are so many leftovers. Anyway, we can eat as much as we want on the table. You didn't say anything. Why didn't you eat it at the table? Why did you steal it in the kitchen every day?" When Hu Chunhua heard this, she fell silent for a moment. Her eyes turned and she felt that Feng Zhangxia's words made some sense. She nodded and said, "Eldest daughter-in-law, what you said makes sense. Then can you explain to me who stole our leftovers? I checked it last night. There's no mistake." Feng Zhangxia thought for a moment. Hu Chunhua said, "Mother, did a mouse or a cat steal the food?" Chapter 1268. Feng Zhangxia was silent for a moment. She thought about it and agreed. The cupboards were all locked, so cats, dogs, and mice couldn't open them. It was impossible for cats, dogs, and mice to steal the food. However, Hu Chunhua would be suspicious of them if they said that the food was eaten by humans. She would probably nag non-stop. However, Feng Zhangxia was clear that it had nothing to do with her. "Mother, this. I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't our first branch who stole it." Feng Zhangxia began to clear her name. "Then who stole it? Damn it. Which heartless bastard stole all the vegetables? If I catch him, I'll skin him alive." Hu Chunhua swore. After scolding, Hu Chunhua still felt uneasy because she didn't know who stole the food. What if he wasn't caught and the food in the kitchen was stolen again? Hearing Hu Chunhua's nagging, Feng Zhangxia's eyes turned. She moved closer to Hu Chunhua and said to Hu Chunhua, "Mother, do you think it was second brother who stole it? I think he stole money last time. I don't know if he's doing it again this time." Feng Zhangxia said this on a whim. If she said this to Zhao Wenshui, it would be better if they could separate from the family if they had a conflict. After Feng Zhangxia finished her words, Hu Chunhua thought about it and felt that it was really possible. After all, Zhao Wenshui had a criminal record. He stole money. It was possible that he stole some food. Li Chuiying heard Feng Zhangxia's words. He scolded Feng Zhangxia, "Sister-in-law, what nonsense are you talking about? What do you mean my Wenshui stole it? Tell me, which eye of yours saw it? If you didn't see it, don't talk nonsense and accuse others." Li Chuiying glared at Feng Zhangxia. This sister-in-law of hers must have said a lot of bad things about the second branch on a daily basis. When Feng Zhangxia mentioned it in front of Hu Chunhua, a lot of things could happen. Feng Zhangxia probably contributed a lot to Hu Chunhua's dislike of her. Being heard by Li Chuiying on the spot, Feng Zhangxia couldn't defend herself even if she wanted to. Her expression changed slightly and she said to Li Chuiying, "I say, second sister-in-law, I didn't say anything wrong. It's like this. Second brother has this old habit. It's normal for him to do it again. After all, no one in the other branches would do this kind of thing." Feng Zhangxia's words almost angered Li Chuiying to death. Her sister-in-law was too much. She was so angry. Wasn't it obvious that she wanted to put the blame on the second branch? No one could stand such treatment, and Li Chuiying was no exception. She almost fought with Feng Zhangxia. Sister-in-law, you're too much. Did you eat sh*t in your mouth? You like to talk nonsense. Li Chuiying said angrily. When did I go too far? When did I talk nonsense? Second sister-in-law, then tell me, who stole our family's vegetables? Feng Zhangxia also became angry. She thought of Xin Pan's words. The fiercer they quarreled, the bigger the trouble, and the more likely it was that they would have to split from the family. Chapter 1269. Aya, second sister-in-law, you can't say that. All right. Mother, just take it that I said too much. If it wasn't second brother and second sister-in-law's family who stole it, then I shouldn't have said that. Feng Zhangxia hurriedly spoke hypocritically to Hu Chunhua. However, Hu Chunhua was even more certain that it was the second branch who stole it. She frowned and looked at Li Chuiying with a pair of gloomy eyes. Second brother's wife, your sister-in-law is right. Second brother is a habitual offender. If he steals once, there will be a second time. When we catch him later, we will interrogate him properly. If it really was second brother, see if he wouldn't skin him alive. I will let her know how powerful I am. After Hu Chunhua finished scolding in a huff, Li Chuiying's face turned pale. Wasn't it a slap in her face to say that Zhao Wenshui was a slap in her face? It was all because Feng Zhangxia had slandered her that Hu Chunhua was suspicious of the second branch. When they returned, she would probably catch Zhao Wenshui and scold him. If there was evidence, it would be fine. If there was no evidence, it would prove that Zhao Wenshui ate it. Why should she scold him and get scolded for no reason? Mother, don't listen to sister-in-law's nonsense. Think about it, why would Wenshui steal it? There is no reason for him to steal it. Wenshui had eaten so much during the meal. Why would he steal food when he was full? There is no need for him to do that. Li Chuiying explained at the top of his voice. When Hu Chunhua heard Li Chuiying's words, she also felt that it made sense. That's true. Second brother is eating and drinking well at home. Why would he steal food? Look at him eating like a pig. His stomach is full. Logically speaking, he shouldn't be able to eat. If he could, then he would really be a pig. Hu Chunhua was puzzled and couldn't figure it out. No matter how he looked at it, he didn't think that it was a family member who stole it. Li Chuiying rolled her eyes and said to Hu Chunhua, Mother, why do you want to steal from our family? Was there a need to steal from their own family? I don't think it was stolen by one of our own. We're not the only ones living in old Zhao's courtyard. Li Chuiying's meaning was obvious. Hu Chunhua was not a fool. She immediately understood what Li Chuiying meant. You're saying that third brother's wife stole it? Hu Chunhua pondered for a moment. That was indeed a possibility. They didn't leave any leftovers for the third branch at the banquet, so it was normal for the third branch to do something sneaky. His brows knitted together, and a pair of gloomy eyes fell on the room of the third branch. Mother, I didn't mean that. You were the one who said it. Li Chuiying hurriedly tried to shirk responsibility. She was afraid that the third branch would find her and say that she was the one who said it. Then, the third branch would scold her. What do you mean by I said it? I know what you mean. I think it was the third branch who stole it. I'll go find them and ask. Hu Chunhua said angrily. Then, she went to the third branch's room and called out to Liang Jinxiao. Third brother's wife, come out. Third brother's wife. After Hu Chunhua called out a few times, Liang Jinxiao came out of the room and said to Hu Chunhua, Mother, why did you ask me to come out? Why did I ask you to come out? Tell me why I asked you to come out. Hu Chunhua said angrily and reprimanded Liang Jinxiao. Chapter 1270. Third brother's wife, tell me the truth. Did you steal the things in my kitchen? There's a lot less steamed pork. There's no one else in the courtyard except for you. Don't quibble and say no. Liang Jinxiao was stunned and looked at Hu Chunhua with grievance. Mother, what the hell are you talking about? How could I steal things? So you're saying it's not you? It wasn't me in the first place. You're still quibbling. Hu Chunhua scolded angrily, then tell me, who else in the courtyard can enter our third branch's room except for your family? It's said that it's hard to guard against a thief in the house. We just didn't leave any leftovers for your third branch. You don't have to act like a thief and steal from us. You'll be embarrassed if word gets out. Hu Chunhua's words happened to fall into the ears of Zhao Yun, who came to the third branch's courtyard. After hearing Hu Chunhua's words, Zhao Yun, was very angry and cursed at Hu Chunhua. I say, grandmother, you're really good at slandering people. Who cares about your leftovers? Do my parents need to steal them from you? Looking into Zhao Yun's angry eyes, Hu Chunhua twitched the corner of her mouth and said, Zhao Yun, what do you mean by not caring about them? Don't you still want to eat my family's food? Zhao Yun, couldn't help but roll her eyes and snort softly, grandmother, please figure out how much your family's broken things are worth. To put it bluntly, I don't care about them at all. Is there anything that can't be bought with money? Girl, you're really good at talking. Hu Chunhua's mouth twitched and she couldn't help but scold her. After being refuted by Zhao Yun, she suddenly felt speechless. However, in her heart, she still believed that it was the third branch who stole it. I'm just telling the truth. Don't let a mad dog out. Just tie it up in the house. If it goes out, it will bite people. Zhao Yun, snorted, implying that Hu Chunhua was a mad dog. Hu Chunhua slapped her thighs and cried, as if she was afraid that no one would know what had happened. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my granddaughter has turned the world upside down. She called her elder a mad dog. In the face of Hu Chunhua's strange behavior, Zhao Yun, was too lazy to say anything. Grandma, you are slandering my mother. Isn't that even more unreasonable? I respect you as an elder, so I'm polite to you. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. Zhao Yun cast a frightening look at Hu Chunhua, which made her shiver. Hu Chunhua immediately shut her mouth when she thought of the suffering she had suffered at the hands of Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun snorted and said, Grandma, if the things were really lost or stolen, then you should check the people in your branch. After all, there are many strange people. Our family's daily meals are good, so we don't care about your things. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she pulled Liang Jinxiao and led Liang Jinxiao into the house. Hu Chunhua stood in the middle of the courtyard, her face full of resentment. Li Chuiying and Feng Zhangxia walked forward and said to Hu Chunhua, Mother, Shui, is getting more and more out of hand. That's right. She's turning the world upside down. What kind of attitude is that? She said that it wasn't stolen, so it wasn't stolen?